What is going on? What is happening? We are back. Got the morning cup of Joe. Yep, that's right. It's Saturday morning once again, folks. Thankful to be here. Happy for another day. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, as always. It's a wet one out there, folks. It's terrible, terrible weather, terrible weather. Um, I had to step out to grab something real quick, and it was a torrential downpour. But luckily, I didn't say, let me just go real quick and come back and not take the umbrella. Gotta take the umbrella. Anyway, so that could have been worse. Hopefully we can get through today's show. Listen, this signal strength is kind of crazy on normal days. I don't know how it's gonna act with rainy weather outside. So hope for the best. But hopefully y'all are doing great. As I said, it's always good to wake up and be here for another day, especially a day in which I can talk about the Knicks. So and the morning cup of Joe helps. I ain't gonna lie, or Joanne. Let's be fair. Oh man, yeah, that's good today. Perfecto. Anyway, hope y'all doing good out there. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all in the chat. Thank you for tuning in as always. Walter Blackman, salute, salute. Hopefully you're doing well, man. I hope everything's going good. Haven't seen you as much lately, but I obviously you got a life, and I know you got stuff going on and everything with the new crib, the new house. So hopefully everything's going well for you, man. Appreciate you as always. Sherwin's in the building. Good to see you. Wonder Woman is here. Salute, salute. John, my guy, is in the building from Still Nick fans. What's going on, bro? JJ is in the building. What's good, JJ? Keith Turner is here. Sango Waldron in the building. Jeremy Nussbaum is in the building. Jermaine Royster, what's good? Deron Wayne is here. Jeffrey Clafter in the building. El Servi. What's going on, brother? Appreciate all y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Okay, good. All right. Thank you, John, for that update. I'm glad it's looking good right now. Hopefully it stays that way. It fluctuates, but good sign. Good sign. All right, man. Well, listen, this show, I'm just looking forward to what's happening. I mean, it's an exciting time. We are right around the corner, folks. I mean, NBA training camp is upon us. It's crazy to watch how you get through the off season, looking for any news, anything going on with your team, and there's just sound bites. There might be something, you're clamoring on to hope of trades and people, acquisitions, any little thing that might give you something to think about, talk about, whatever. And as a fan, to be excited about. We get through the off season, we get to training camp, we get to Nick Content Day, and we're a little concerned about how the Content Day plays out. It didn't run off without a hitch. It had some issues and hiccups. And then the other thing was we still were like, well, when are we going to see the Knicks address the media? When is the media going to be able to talk to them and ask them questions? And let me tell you, once they finished Content Day and they started dropping the actual media interviews that they were having, it has been nonstop Knicks media every single day now. So we are back in the full swing of things, folks. The NBA season is definitely upon us. And we've already seen the first preseason game. Now that makes sense. because it's not like the NBA website gives you, any more information than you need to have, right? I mean, how hard was it to say the Golden State Warriors are playing the Washington Wizards first preseason game? It's at 6 a.m. That's right. That's what you saw, but it's in Japan. Was it that hard to put some parentheses in Japan? Like, I was looking at that and I was like, what? 6 a.m.? Something's not right here. I mean, I could see it being an early game. I mean, is that 6 a.m. East Coast time because they're playing on the West Coast? I don't get. I was like, what is this? Anyway, shout out to the NBA for not making that clear on their website. Good job, guys. Good job. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. But hey, being that was the first game of the season so far, preseason, whatever it was somewhat entertaining. I saw some of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but then I saw the highlights afterwards. Wasn't bad. I mean, you expect some sloppiness as the first game, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad. And shout out to D Poetic because he did say this. Don't take a preseason game as the barometer. Because obviously, they're playing the Golden State Warriors, but they're not playing the best of the Golden State Warriors. It's preseason. You're practicing. I mean, you're going out there, you're trying things. You're just getting your feet wet, getting in the swing of things. But I will say, the Washington Wizards look like they got some firepower over there. They look like if they get their game going, get their chemistry and all that stuff, they could be tough. And as far as a team that can fight for that play-in, the 7 to 10 spots. So that's another team, man, because they got some talent over there. When you look at them on, actually playing together, a healthy Bradley Beal, a healthy Porzingis, Rui Hachimura, Kyle Kuzma. There was a couple other names I saw. Now I'm lost. What was that stuff that they told me I need to drink? What, mountain lion mushroom or something? I don't know. Damn it, I need it. Some ginkgo biloba, some B12. I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, there's other names that I could think of on the Wizards, but not all of them played. So I don't want to bring up people that didn't play because that doesn't really say that they're going to impact anything yet. So I'll leave the people out of it. But the people I did name, listen, if Porzingis and Beal are healthy and Kyle Kuzma plays sort of the way he was playing when they were depending on him, and if Hachimura stays healthy and he plays kind of like how he played in the preseason game, which he has that talent, they could be a very interesting team. That's all I'll say. Let's leave it at that. I'm not going to stress myself out about the Washington Wizards. Just another team we got to worry about. That's all. All right. Salute to Mike Boy in the building. Mike Boy. Kibbit1 is here. Kareem Grant. What up, twin? What's good, brother? Andy is in the building. What's going on, Andy? Appreciate you, man. Sha Powers. What's going on, Sha? Good to see you. Yeah, man. So yeah, there's some things. There's some things that are going on. And being that we are here now, we're in the swing of things again. Tuesday, guys. Tuesday. Can you imagine? Man, time flies, man. This whole part, I remember when off season kicked off, I was like, man, we'll see. We'll see what this team looks like. And then, when we get to training camp, we are here, folks. Tuesday is the first preseason game. This is crazy. I can't believe it. Time is just like boom. Salute to East Blue Drew in the building. Appreciate you. Good to see you as always. Cash out James Gold all in my. You know what it is. Cash out. Good to see you, bro. Eric Wallace is here. Salute. Soul Finger in the building. Let's go. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate, man. I'm sorry, guys. I've been taking, a couple more sips of the coffee than I normally take because today the coffee is good. Sorry. One more. Oh yeah, today is good. One more again. Yeah, no, sometimes when it's right, you got to enjoy it. As with everything in life, enjoy whatever it is that you like. If you go get your favorite food, or you go get a bagel with cream cheese, and that bagel and cream cheese is hitting that day, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Paris Duggar is in the building. Salute, Paris Duggar. Appreciate you as always. Okay, all right. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Rob the Nick in the building. Rob the Nick, man. Where you been at, brother? Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Let me put that name up just because I haven't seen it in a minute. Rob the Nick. What's good? Okay, and I'm glad to hear that, Walter. I'm glad you're doing well. Fantastic. Fantastic news, man. Fantastic. Agent Super Argo is in the building. That was nice. Let me talk about that a little bit. I started that comment, Agent Super Argo. I'll get back to it. Oh man, yeah. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, brother, as always. Yeah, man. Smash that like button, guys. Appreciate y'all. Nice. Well, okay. I want to talk about it a little bit probably as we go along, but let me just address this real quick. And I hear you, Agent Super Argo. However, I don't think that what Rose was responding to when Julius interrupted him was about the antics and stuff that was going on with the Knicks and stuff that Julius may have been a part of. I see where you go with it, but no, I don't think it was that. I think when Julius interrupted him and he was saying stop playing with me, excuse me, is because Julius walked in on him and he's given the interview shirtless. And basically, as we found out, Thibodeau issued him a challenge, or told him some stuff about his weight and how he kind of gained weight. And Rose took that challenge and he did what he needed to do and got back down to his best playing weight ever. And he was flaunting it. That's why he was walking around with his shirt off, like, stop playing with me. He's basically trying to tell you that he takes his job seriously. He takes his mind, his body, all that soul stuff, all that seriously. And that, it shouldn't have been, it's not even a question for him. He'll do what he got to do to get right. That's all. But I hear you though. But you are right. Rose was calling out people for last year and what they did, and Julius was in part of that mix. So that is true. Very true. What else? Okay. All right, Rob. Okay. And okay, so continuing what Paris said, he said best effects to winning OB and quickly combo is deadly, and the biggest surprises were Burks and Fournier from 3. All right. All right. All right. I could agree with that. All right. Let me just put this in the chat so it's there. Okay. So, excuse me. It is about that time again, guys. I try to do this every so often. And maybe I will do it where we get back into some of the people that you're used to that we've already mentioned and that we love to big up and champion. But today I wanted to big up some new people that maybe some of y'all are not familiar with or we don't talk about as much. So I wanted to give them some love and point you guys to them if you guys aren't aware of them. So because they're doing their thing, you know what I mean? And they deserve to get some shine and have some spotlight on them as well. Hey, salute to Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Knicks fans in the building. Wesley Robinson is here. Salute. Appreciate you. So before we dive deep into the Knick talk, guys, I just wanted to shout these special people out and make sure you guys support and tune in because some of them are new, some of them are just maybe flying under the radar, and then some of them are not flying under the radar, been here for a minute and they're thriving, and you just never heard me big them up. And so I want to make sure that we big them up. Hold on one second. Boom. All right, let me get myself off the screen for a bit. I'll come back in with it. Ew. All right, guys. So listen, you guys know we love to big up, the Knicks community, right? And there's several different content creators that are out there that are putting out great content, great work. You guys already know the list of names that I've showed you guys before, and that list is still there, and we'll big them up again at some point. But I just want to spotlight some of the newer content creators, or like I said, ones that I may not have mentioned before that are thriving, but I didn't have a chance to mention them, or I just didn't have access to their logo or whatever it was. So shout out to these fine people. Okay. Dope Soul Sports Talk. You already know who that is. That's Stephanie from the Queen's Court and the NBK family. She decided a few months back to launch her own channel, and it has been doing great. I mean, in the quickest amount of time, I think she's already got over 800 subscribers. So it just tells you the impact that she already had on the Knicks community. People gravitated to her channel immediately, and so she's gonna hit that 1,000 mark and many more thousands in no time. You know what I mean? So she's fast tracking, and she is obviously a staple in our Knicks community. Shout out to the Queen, Steph. Appreciate you. Dope Soul Sports Talk. Check her out on YouTube if you haven't already. Now this is a newer one to the fray, if you guys aren't familiar with him. His channel is Delusional Knicks Fan, and he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. I really like what he talks about. I've subscribed, I've tuned in, and his content, I think his opinion is solid. It's based on some factual stuff as well as other things. It's not just oh, I love the Knicks, I put a channel together, this is blah blah blah, and you're gonna like it. It's not that at all. He's another valued good asset to the Knicks community. So definitely check his channel out, Delusional Knicks Fan on YouTube, guys. Support. So appreciate you, brother. Another channel that goes without saying. I mean, you guys should already be familiar with him. If you're not as familiar with this channel, I don't know. Some people may not be, but These World of Hoops. That's right. These World of Hoops. Our guy, D Poetic, aka D the Knick Analyst, aka D Poetic, aka D is balling. I said D Poetic twice, probably, but you know what I mean. He's got so many damn AKAs. I don't know. I think this dude's a frat. He's in a frat or a fraternity or whatever. He's pledging Alpha Omega. I don't know what he's doing. He's got so many AKAs. What do you want me to say? But anyway, shout out to him. You've seen him on the show countless times. You know, we also have worked together on our Still Knick Fans draft special. And he's done a lot of work in regards to that. You know, he loves basketball. He loves talking basketball. He loves the X's and O's, as well as I think he really enjoys scouting and looking at these young players and what they can bring to the game. So yeah, shout out to D, a really good channel. Also, you know, a channel that has started fairly recently and is rising quickly. So definitely check out D's World of Hoops. All right, on YouTube. Salute. Another channel that you know, it goes without saying, you know, has done fantastic work. He gets every person you could think of, man. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He can, you know, I'm sure if Obama was a Knick fan, somehow Obama would be on the channel. I just don't know how he does it. He finds a way, man. He finds a way. That's my guy Victor from Knick Fans Brazil, man. Salute to Victor. You know, he has you know, a channel that is obviously getting a lot of guests, a lot of people that we love to see and we value in the community. He's able to kind of get them to come on the show, but he's still got a really tough uphill battle. You know, it's not easy to talk about Knick basketball in Brazil. You know, there's a lot of things Brazil is known for and what they like, soccer or football being the most prevalent, I would think, when it comes to sports. But you know, Brazil is also like a tourist destination. It's a hot area. You know, it's a tropical place. A lot of people live their lives differently. They don't really, you know, get themselves caught up in the in kind of sports world too much. Like football, soccer is one of those things. It's just a national thing and it's a part of them. But yeah, you know, basketball is not really, you know, hitting as much. And even if it is, I'm sure the Knicks are not on their radar as one of the favorite teams in Brazil. So the fact that Victor's doing what he's doing, shout out to him, man. Salute to Victor. Keep doing the great work, man. Keep getting the great guests. We appreciate you. Big friend of the show, and we're a big friend of his. So another good content creator is, you know, riding with the Knicks. Okay. Now, I know you guys, if you remember, if you saw Still Knick Fans Weekly, we had Riding with Knicks on. And, you know, he told us his story, which is a really cool story. You know, he's in Ohio and he basically just said, you know what? I'm taking these long car rides. Why don't I just do a channel from the car? Why don't I talk about the Knicks from the car? And, you know, he just started it and boom, that's it. That's it. It's lit. You know what I mean? It's lit. And it's tough because remember, he's in Ohio. So Ohio is, you know, first off, it's a football town. You know, they love the Cleveland Browns out there, but they're big fans of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are playing well. And they've got another star that they added to the mix. And plus they've won a championship, you know, in the last 10 years or so. So they are right over there. So they, you know, it's tough to go over there and talk Knicks, but he's doing it, man. So support Riding with the Knicks. Appreciate him. Always good to see his content as well. Now, one of the real newer content creators to the frame, but not someone you're not familiar with, is I Am Jarrell. You see him on the MBK network. He's been to multiple events. He's always part of the panels, and more, you know, more recently, you see him as a stable person on the panel for the Queen's Court or Dope Soul Sports Talk. He's always rocking with Steph, but he decided to launch his own channel, Die Hard Giants. I know this is the Knick community, but he is a part of the Knick community without a doubt. So, you know, he's talking Giants, man. Right now he's doing it, you know, at half times of games. So the first half of the Giant game will go on and then he'll start talking in the second half and go from there. So it's pretty cool, man. And, you know, I'm a Giant fan, so obviously I support and appreciate him. So shout out to you, I Am Jarrell. Definitely check out his channel on YouTube, Die Hard Giants. It's an up and comer. I think you guys will like it. Another person who's doing different type of content, but definitely content that you guys will enjoy if you haven't already checked them out, is my guy Project Nerd, aka Heck. Once again, he's talking about the Yankees. It's called the Yankees Morning Brew. And even though it's the Yankees, if you guys know Heck, you know he's a big part of our Knicks community. He's always been. He was on the love of the game, for the love of the game, you know, number 4, OUR, love of the game, with Worldwide L and Hard Will. So he's talking basketball in the past, and you know, still does. He jumps on other shows. He talks basketball, talks all types of sports. But Yankees Morning Brew is his new baby. And so definitely check him out. Excuse me. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. He's talking about the Yankees, man. And right now is a hot time, an exciting time for them. The Judge is he's right there, man. He's got 5 games left, I think. I don't know. See if he can break that record, but he's tied Roger Maris, so we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah, so definitely check him out and his content. He puts on a really good show. Another new one to the frame is well, I know her as the bowling chick. She's another I guess consistent solid panelist that's on Steph shows, you know, Dope Soul Sports Network, and also the Queen's Court. She lends her voice to the panel. And she has jumped in the chat multiple times on MBK and other shows. And that's the bowling chick. And her channel is Tsunami Speaks. And she's doing a little bit of, it's a combination of things. She's a Jet fan. And she is talking about her New York Jets. That's her passion. And she's also sprinkling in some New York Knicks talk as well. So, and as the season progresses, she's going to be really getting into the Knicks stuff. She's talking a little bit more Jets right now. Excuse me, because the Jets are playing. You know what I mean? And shout out to the Jets, man. I think if they stay healthy and get their players back. Not that they have a lot of players out, but definitely the quarterback is coming back. So that should be interesting. They might make some noise. Because I think they're better than what their record dictates. And also how people view their personnel. Jets got some players over there. They just got to bring it all together. And they got a coach that believes in them. He's a little crazy, but he believes in them, and I think they believe in him. So shout out to the bowling chick, aka Tsunami Speaks. And as I mentioned, guys, some of these people are not new. They've been around. They've been doing their damn thing. And we're going to get into some of these names right now as we wrap it up. BX Sports Jedi Network with my man Kev. You know, Kev is a really, really cool dude. I'm not going to tell you how much of a dope dude this guy is. Like ever since we got into the Knick community, I jumped on his show multiple times. He's been on other shows and I've seen him. The dude is just a solid, nice guy, man. He'll lend his time if you need him. If you want to ask him something, he'll answer you. He'll give you what, he's a really cool dude. And his network, he talks about the Knicks. He talks about the Rangers. He talks about MMA. He talks about boxing, wrestling. Like he does everything over there in his network. So definitely salute to him. Check his show out. It's fantastic. And he puts other people on too. I mean, he's over there mixing it up with Chef. G Money's over there doing stuff. It's just like he's a really cool dude. And I don't know the other people who do some of the other stuff. I think his son is one of the people that talks about wrestling and other stuff. I don't know all the names of everybody, but it's definitely a cool YouTube channel. Check him out. Really good content, and he does really good play-by-play. Let me tell you something. Watching his play-by-play for the Knicks and other things, he does play-by-play for multiple, like hockey. He's really good at that. So definitely salute to him, man. OUA Knicks podcast, another good one, man. I follow this guy. He's always putting out good content, and he's just one of those that I think that he's been around for a minute, but I just think that maybe a lot of people don't know how to find them on the network. A lot of things that I notice with people is they continue to subscribe to channels, but don't hit the notification bell for all. And if you don't hit that all, it's crazy that YouTube, I think you should try to tweak that, a different way. Like they should set it so that it's default to all. And if you don't want to be notified about all these things, you can go in and cut it off. But there's so many people that want to see when you're dropping content that don't find you, and they don't know how to go back in and change it to all. So I think YouTube should think about their default settings and maybe change it the opposite way, so that if people are really annoyed, if you're really annoyed about being notified about all these programs, you can just go back in and start clicking them off. One day you go in, I don't want this, I don't want that, I want that, and click them off. That's it. So shout out to him. Really good content, man. So OUA Knicks podcast, check them out. And my man Tone Woo, you see it. He's got another really good podcast channel, Garden of Knicks. And shout out to him, man. He does good content as well. He unfortunately sometimes he can't always put out the content he wants because he's got a lot of stuff going on. Family, he's got there's a lot going on, but when he does, the content is great, and he definitely should be championed and supported, man. Tone Wu, appreciate you, brother. So check him out and his channel on YouTube, man. Appreciate you. Sorry. And we're rounding out the last two. Now, as I mentioned to you, riding with Knicks, he decided to start recording from his car because he's taking them long car rides. But there's another person who does Nick updates or Nick quick hitters from his car, and that's my guy Danny B. All right, Danny B in the Morning Drive, which simulcast on Twitter and YouTube. He'll tell you, gives you quick recaps of the Knick games in maybe 3 minutes or less, or they're pretty quick for the most part. And so people have kind of gotten used to that. That's his staple. And so Knicks Morning Drive with Danny B is a really dope quick hitter to get you some information. If you haven't seen it, he'll definitely let you know, give you a quick recap. And he goes to a lot of the games too. So he sometimes gives you firsthand knowledge of what he witnesses as well. Shout out to you, Danny B. Congratulations. He's a newlywed, and he's also has a new baby. So shout out to you and the missus, man. Appreciate you. And then last but not least, he got the fire logo. I couldn't even shorten the logo because it was chopping it off. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put the whole logo. That's it. Shout out to my guy Trippy, man. The Nick in 30 podcast. Salute to him. He is a valued member of the Knick community, always supporting all the shows, always lending his time, down for whatever. He's the type of dude, yo, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna be here, we're gonna go to this, we're gonna go to that. Yeah, all right, let me know. I'm with it. He's mad cool, man. Trippy is a dope soul, man, dope dude. And his podcast, he not only does he have a podcast that airs on YouTube, but he also has radio, audio version as well, should I say. It's not radio, audio version as well. So definitely shout out to my guy Trippy, Nick in 30 podcast. Salute to all of these great content creators, new and the ones that have been around for a minute, man. Support, because our community is growing. But the ones that have been here doing a great job and holding the community down need their love and flowers, as well as these new people that are just jumping in and joining the fray, man. Really good content. All right, guys. So I know that was long-winded, but I wanted to get that out and show these people some love, because I just think it's really dope what they're doing. And shout out to them. Bam. All right, let's get into this Knick stuff. And shout out to you guys in the chat. Keisha in the building. I know. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you something right now, Keisha. This is what I realized. Depending on what the weather is, and I'm going to give it a nice, good clear in a second. Depending on how the weather is, if I sleep with the fan on and something, I get a little congested when I wake up. But I think the worst possible thing to do when you're slightly congested is drink coffee. for whatever reason, coffee just makes it worse. But I got to have my coffee in the morning. I got to have it. I should be drinking water. You are right. I've already messed everything up. So give me 1 second. All right. That's better. Appreciate you. Thank you. I'm like, oh, man. Got to get it out. All right. So, shout out to Worldwide Al, as I already mentioned, for the Love of the Game podcast. Appreciate you guys. That's the number 4 OUR, Love of the Game, with him and Hard Will. Doing a great job. And thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. We appreciate the love, man. We're just happy to keep going and happy people keep tuning in, man. William is in the building. What's going on, William? Appreciate you, bro. Thank you once again, Keisha, for that. I appreciate that. All right. Okay, guys. So where do we start? Well, first off, can I just say how excited I am that the preseason is right around the corner? But as much as I am in excitement for what we're about to witness, I'm a little concerned. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Tom Thibodeau is moving at the you know how Tom Thibodeau moves. Like, does he talk with the front office? Do these two sides communicate? Like, what are they feeding the fans? Because I'm not sure if everybody is on the same page. Once again, I hate this. I hate going into a season not knowing what to expect, because I feel like these reports and rumors and stuff have been coming out that the Knicks would like to give Obi more playing time. The Knicks want to give Quickly consistent playing time. They want to find a bigger role for Quentin Grimes. Those are the three things we know. They didn't really say anything about Cam. They talk about Cam like, he's looking well. He's looking great. His shoulder's healthy. They don't really talk when it comes to playing time. They kind of avoid it. They don't really get into it. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Maybe that just means like Cam got to earn it, and then if he earns it, we can talk. I don't know what that means, but I know some people are a little outraged by what Tibbs said recently in regards to Obi and Randle playing together, because that's another way for Obi to get more minutes, right? Because if they can both be on the court at the same time, right, that would help. However, Tibbs said that the numbers or the stats don't show that works too well. A lot of people went crazy over that on Twitter and other places, and I saw it and I was like, okay, I kind of understand that Tibbs has hesitancy with it, but it doesn't mean you don't try. And then we also know Julius Randle has come into training camp in apparently really great shape. He's slimmed down a little bit, which probably helps his speed. He's a little faster moving. So why wouldn't you try to experiment when guys are coming into camp in the best shape of their lives and trying to do things to physically get out there and improve, how they can perform? Why wouldn't you try it? Once again, maybe it didn't work because you had other issues on the roster that you couldn't work through, and maybe some of your actual rotations and the fact that you had Alec Burks playing the point guard is another reason why it didn't work so well. Do you ever think about that, Tom Thibodeau? I'm just saying. I don't know. It's just me. Now, in fairness to Thibodeau, I did see a stat, and I'm not going to put it up, guys. I'll read it to y'all, but I'm not going to put it up because I don't know if it's true. Like, I haven't done the research myself, and you guys might say, damn, Ron, like, you're putting on a show, you should do the research. Listen, there's certain things that in regards to like these analytical stats that I don't even know how to find. I'll be honest with you. Some of these stats, they don't make it easy for you to find, or I don't know the parameters in which to search for it. So you can't fault me for that. If I knew, I'd do it. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes I type in something simple and I'm like, okay, I want to see this versus this, and I don't get it. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, how can how can this not, be something that's just normal to find? So, don't hate me, guys. That's what's going on. So apparently, I guess I'll say it. According to Crangus McBasketball, that doesn't breed much confidence, right? I'm sorry. It's at Tim_NBA, but I don't know if this is true or not. That's why I'm saying, but I'm just throwing it out there because if it is true, then there's some credence to it. But if it's not true, it is what it is. It says New York with Obi and Randle duo last year was low leverage garbage time. Removed. They had a 108 defensive rating, 113. I'm sorry, a 108 offensive rating. I apologize. 113.6 defensive rating and a net 5.6. That was the average of that. This was regular time, like regular time in the game. Okay. Now, apparently during garbage time, when the game is out of reach on either side, Knicks are losing or they're winning big, the offensive rating for Obi and Randle on the court at the same time was 127, and the defensive rating was 84.3, which was a net plus 42.7. Now, I'm not saying this is a real stat, but I could see it. So I don't know. But that says a lot because, when you look at these stats and look at these numbers of efficiency, how does it actually work? When you average this out, this is going to look pretty good, right? Oh, when they're on the court together, they're somewhere in between 127 and 108 offensively, which that's good. And defensively, they're somewhere in between 113 and 84%, I'm 84.3, I mean, I don't know, man. I think sometimes when you average out things, it makes stats look, a lot better than they are. When you break them down like this, you can really see what's happening. It's kind of like in other sports, mainly like baseball. There's certain players that are looked at as stars or like really good players. And then people used to say, oh, well, this guy only hits a home run when there's nobody on base, or they're already up, a number of points. When they need, when they need a home run in a big time or a big hit, that person doesn't come through. Well, that's kind of the same thing like with garbage time stats. The game is already out of reach and the defense is lackadaisical. It's not, and you're playing with the bench guys. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that's a true stat. I'll have to figure out a way to kind of find out to corroborate that. But if it is true, you can understand why Tibbs would be a little hesitant if that's actually true, if it is. So, but that still doesn't change the fact that Tibbs is very stubborn. It doesn't change the fact that Tibbs is very funky when it comes to his rotations. And it doesn't change the fact that the front office said they're going to find ways to play Obi more, give quickly consistent minutes, and find a bigger role for Quentin Grimes. How do you do that when you're going to give us situations where you're not willing to try other lineups? You're not willing to expand on things. How else are you going to play these guys? There's just too many guys, man. He plays an 8 to 9 man rotation, and we have 11 to 12 guys that deserve to play. And I always say 12 because 12 is Jericho Sims, in my opinion. Imagine that. Jericho Sims, who had a really good summer league, who showed us some new things that we haven't seen from him and only looked better, it only improved. Yes, does he still need to work on those free throws? Of course he does. He's got a hole in that shot right now. He got to work on it. But how does he go from working on things, getting better, playing some good minutes down the stretch last year, and where he was rebounding the ball effectively, still needs to work on his defense a little bit more and learn how to have better timing with blocking shots. But he was doing some positive things, and now he's relegated to basically the 12th man. He's definitely situational. That's because the Knicks got a lot of guys on the team in a limited rotation. So how does it work? I don't know. And yep, shout out to D. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. King Sipes is in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's see. There was something that was said here I wanted to get back to. I'll come back to that. Okay. All right, here we go. So Agent Super Argo said most minutes Cam Reddish got with the Knicks was against the Clippers. Knicks won 116-93. RJ had 24 points. IQ had 21. Cam had 16. Cam scored 36 points with Atlanta because of additional minutes. Yeah, they played him certain points, and then there was injury issues where they had to put Cam out there. Don't get me wrong. I feel like, Cam, I felt like Cam was getting a little bit of a raw deal when he first got here. But then again, I didn't know about his pre-existing injury that he had that was lingering. So Tibbs wanted him to be healthy and for that injury to go away. So that was one thing. The other thing is Tibbs doesn't like to throw anybody out there who doesn't know his style of play or what he's trying to do. He doesn't want to throw you out there cold turkey. You have to be in practice, understand some sets or whatever it is before he feels comfortable to just throw you out there. So that took a little time. Him coming back from that little nagging injury, and then Tibbs feeling comfortable that he understood the sets and everything. That took a minute. So then once he actually got a chance, then it was, well, Tibbs had to figure out a way to put him in there and give him some minutes, and he was giving him like spotty minutes here and there. And then finally he started to expand the minutes a little bit, and we saw that good example against the Clippers, what he did. And then he had another game that I think he played okay. He might have had 12 points or something like that. I don't know what it was, but he played okay. And shortly thereafter, he got hurt again. It's just, it's unfortunate situations. It's like he came in hurt, kind of. He had to learn to play the play style of the team. And then as soon as he really started to get a little bit more love and more burn, he got hurt again. Injury bug has just really destroyed Cam throughout his career. So it's a shame, but that's what it was. I'm not going to say, after knowing how the season played out and knowing more information about it, I'm not going to say that Tibbs didn't want to play Cam. I think he had his reasons, and I respect them now. But once he was healthy at that point, definitely should try to get him in there and get him. And I think he was trying to get him in. And I think he would have played a little more down the stretch, especially, but he got hurt. And that really messed things up. Francisco Carrillo in the building. What's good? Appreciate you, man. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So you got that. That's an interesting question, by the way, King Sipes. How many of y'all in the chat think Tibbs is a good coach? I'm curious myself what y'all think about that. John says, depending on Grimes' injury, we will be potential see Cam get some run with the second unit to start the preseason. True. So that's one of the things. Like now that unfortunately I don't know the extent of Grimes' injury. I think they're definitely trying to be precautious. We know that. They've said that. But who knows how serious this situation is? Don't know. He's in like a walking boot or whatever it was to protect him. We don't know the time frame on it. So I think this is a really good time because I said before, Grimes is, if healthy, has the tools that he warrants minutes. He should be out there. So I don't think he really has to worry about when he comes back if they'll have a way to play him. I think he'll ease his way into the rotation somehow. Cam should definitely take every opportunity he can, and this is an opportunity that has just developed for him. It's like a beautiful thing. It's like writing on the wall. He can't be mad about it. After everything he went through last year, and then getting hurt, when he finally thought things were starting to go right, getting his body into shape, he says he feels good. They say he looks great. The rotation issues, he's not mentioned in a lot of conversations because they don't know how they're going to use him. Then Grimes kind of gets hurt. What more can Cam ask for? This is your chance to get out there and do your thing and get some minutes to be able to show your stuff once again. Yeah, I agree. Asian Super Argo said, at this point, Fournier is the front runner over anyone for starting. Grimes has his foot in a boot, so now is the opportunity for Cam to go bonkers during training. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, same sentiments. Agreed. Yep. That's true too, JJ. If we fully healthy, oddly enough, Cam is the odd man out, unless Cam changes that now. Like if Cam changes that in the preseason, and I don't know how long Grimes will be hurt. If Cam balls out and starts to show his game in what it can be, then he changes from the odd man out to how do we play this guy? How do we get minutes for him as well? And then that's when the Knicks start to run into a problem where they're like, okay, now we seriously got to figure out how to trade somebody, because Cam hasn't made it hard on them yet. Right now, the Knicks' biggest issue is figuring out how to play Obi, how to play Grimes, more minutes, and how to play quickly, more minutes, because Rose is back, and you got Jalen now, and you still got Fournier. So, at some point, if Cam were to do that, the Knicks would have to figure out a way to trade somebody, because then that warrants it. But right now, he hasn't done that. He hasn't shown them that he absolutely has to get the playing time. He's got to make it hard on them. All these players got to make it hard on this front office and this coaching staff. They got to go out there. Excuse me. Yeah, one more again. We're back. Okay. They got to go out there and they got to make it tough for them. They got to put them in a situation where they got to make moves. Okay. So we'll see. Keisha says, after 20 to 30 games, Dolan will probably step in. They better get it together or Leon is going down with his boy. Well, I think you're half right, Keisha. I think after 20 or 30 games, which the first 20 games is very tough for the Knicks. This is a tough schedule to start the season. After 20 or 30 games, if the Knicks look really bad, I do think that some talks will be had, and there's a possibility a change could be made. I don't know for certain if it'll include the front office, but in these type of situations, the scapegoat is always the coach, whether it's warranted or not. And in this case, it may be warranted. Maybe Tibbs just looks like he lost team, or they're not listening to him, and or his things that he's implementing aren't working. That could happen. But I don't think Leon Rose, and these guys would be going anywhere. I think that they would be here at least for the rest of the year, because as much as fans that we're not happy with everything they've done some positive things from an ownership standpoint. The fans are still paying their money. The Knicks games are still sold out. And it's still one of the most profitable franchises in the NBA. I think it is. It's number one, right? So I can't see them making a move on the front office right away. But if that happens, like you said, maybe Tibbs could be on the hot seat. Whew, that's rough. In his last 6 seasons coaching, he has a losing record of 175 wins and 83 losses. Wow. That's tough. He misses them early Bulls days. I know that. That's tough. This is a make or break season for Tibbs, depending on how he utilizes this roster. I agree with that. I do think that this is a make or break season for a lot of people. Make or break season for Tibbs. Make or break season for Obi. Make or break season for Quickly. Make or break season for Grimes. Make or break season for Randle. I think that's it. I don't want to say it's a make or break season for RJ, but because they gave him the money and he's still young, but he definitely needs to step up and show he's worth it, or he could be traded. If they can move that contract, I could see them trying to move him. Not that they'd be able to, because if he doesn't look much better than he did, I don't know how attractive that is to another team. But those other 5 guys, including Tibbs, Randle, Grimes, Quickly, Obi. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess you could. Nah, I don't want to throw Cam in there. I don't want to say it's a make or break season for Cam, but it is if he wants to remain a New York Knick in a way, because it's going to be very tough for Cam to stay here. Cam needs to be healthy for the majority of the season, and he needs to ball out. All right, so yeah, throw Cam in there too. It's a make or break season for Cam as well. I just didn't want to throw him in there because I'm not sure that Cam is going to get the minutes he deserves to be able to show what he can do. These other guys, I know they're going to play in some way, but Cam really needs the minutes, and it's not fair to have, to put the make or break label on him when you don't give him the chance to play. So we'll see. Oh, and the reason why I say make or break for so Randle, you guys already know why. I'm assuming you all know why it's a make or break for Randle. Quickly, it's a make or break because of the fact that he's got to show improvement this year. If he doesn't show improvement, then the Knicks the only conclusion they could have is that, okay, we've already seen the best of him. This is who he is, at least for this Knicks team. He doesn't really fit into our long-term plans because he's not elevating his game, and we need more from him. He wasn't as efficient as you'd like to see from the perimeter. He did shoot great from the free throw line, and he played solid defense. His ball handling and playmaking improved down the stretch, but those games were kind of, throwaway games. So we got to see. And I think that I even saw something that Thibodeau was talking about his point guard rotation, and he didn't mention Quickly. So maybe he sees Quickly as a shooting guard this year. He wants him to focus on that. So we'll see. We obviously know why Tibbs could be make or break. He could be on the hot seat if they don't start out good. Grimes unfairly is in a make or break position as well, because out of all the people we've mentioned, some might point to him as being the best out of them, possibly better than Quickly, better than Obi. And I'll leave it there. It stops there. But I'm saying from the young guys, and like better than Jericho, you know what I mean? Better than those young guys, and obviously Deuce. So this year is very important for Grimes to, one, show that he can stay healthy because he's starting to get banged up a little bit here and there. Two, show that he can play really good defense once again and, be consistent with his defense. Three, show that he can improve on his efficiency with his shooting, because his shooting, for a guy who has great form like that, this guy's got Allen Houston form, and gets very streaky. He should be able to knock down things at a higher clip with more efficiency from three and definitely from the free throw line. His free throw shooting, for the type of talent he is, as far as a shooter, is atrocious. I'm not exaggerating. Like, he should not be shooting what he's shooting from the free throw line when you got that type of form and you can knock stuff down. So he's got to improve there and, continue to work on the stuff he worked on in the summer league, passing the ball, getting to the lane and penetrating, giving himself better options to score the basketball. So that's why I think it's a make or break for him, because the fact is the Knicks are going to be depending on him, and you got to see if this guy is someone that you can keep on. He doesn't have to be a superstar, doesn't have to even be a star. You just got to show that he can take his game to a higher level and improve on things so that the Knicks know, hey, this is a piece we can win with. We got to put some other pieces around him, but he's a piece that can fit in nicely. He's got to show that this year. Let's see. Salute to Parrish Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. He says 1 through 15, be ready. We're deep with everyone necessary. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the problem is there's guys that, if everybody's healthy, just won't play. It's just going to be hard for Tibbs to get them in any minutes. He just, we know how his rotations work. The good thing is if anybody gets hurt, which you can see, we've got some injury-prone guys. Cam is injury-prone. The verdict's still out on Quentin Grimes. He might be injury-prone. We don't know. Mitchell Robinson avoided it last year, but in the past, he's been injury-prone. Cam Reddish, injury-prone. So because of that, we've got guys to cover those holes. Good job by the Knicks for doing that. It's just the issue is when everybody's healthy, can everybody be happy? Can people be comfortable with not being out there, not getting the minutes? We'll see. Yeah. Ibodine Sams is in the building. Appreciate you. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before, Ibodine, but thank you for being here. If this is your first time, we appreciate you. Hopefully you like the content, and keep coming back, man. We definitely appreciate you. Salute. What else? Let's see. D. Koulis is in the building. Appreciate you. And yes, I agree with you. And I think I forgot to do something. Sorry, guys. Let me just take care of that real quick. But yeah, I agree with you. He definitely deserves to get the love if he is out there playing. I mean, should I say he deserves to get the playing time so he can, show us what he's got if he wants it. Like, if he works hard at it. He's not going to be given to him. Tibbs already said that. He's not going to just give anybody minutes. They're going to have to earn them. So I agree with you. Yep. The best ability is availability. Everybody knows it. It's very true. Building Blocks is in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Yep. Andy says he is good, not perfect, but we have to live with him. That's a fact. D. Kula says Grimes is not seriously injured, just soreness. Okay. Yeah, what I heard, but let me tell you something. Let me say something that matters here. Even if it's not a big injury, even if it's something that could go away fairly quickly, whatever the timetable is for Quentin Grimes. So say the timetable for his soreness is a week. If I'm the Knicks, I'm giving that guy another week. You know what I mean? Do not play around with a guy that you think highly of and is going to have a solid role for this Knicks team, especially on the defensive end. Don't mess around with Quentin Grimes, man, because we don't know if he's injury prone. But listen, if he wasn't, if you play around with him and bring him back too early, he can re-injure himself, and that soreness can turn into a sprain or even worse. So don't play around. And we got enough players and it's early in the season. If he's not able to go out there right away, it's okay. We have enough to cover him. So I'm with you, though. I'm glad that that's the case, but they better take it easy with these guys. Parrish Duggar says, yesterday is gone, got hazed, and made it through to this new beginning of training camp and ready to go. I like it. I like that mentality. Jeffrey Clafter said, we had a top 10 defense with 1+ defender on the floor in the starting unit. I see what you're saying. The Knicks can easily improve on what they did last year. And they might, when RJ said we're going to shock the world, I think he jumped out the window. I don't think he was supposed to say that. I think maybe that's something they talk about and something they feel, which is great because, the Knicks play well when they're the underdog. When they have that underdog mentality, it's us against them. They play really good. And I like that. And I think that's why he kind of walked back some of his that statement, because he'd rather let it play out. Let's see what they're actually doing and how they look before he can go all in on saying that, before the rest of the team starts saying stuff like that as well. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. King Sipes doesn't believe they are being honest about Grimes' injury. What kind of soreness makes you wear a walking boot? Well, like I said, I have seen it where in other sports they do put you in walking boots as a precaution, especially if it's a quarterback. I've seen it with a quarterback who needs to play the next Sunday. They're like, let me put him in the walking boot, let him not move, let the blood, circulate and all that stuff. Advanced healing. I don't know what they have in that walking boot to kind of help the healing process, but they do stuff like that. But I hear you. I don't trust everything either. John says, Ron, no need to trade yet. 82-game season. You need quality situational players to fill a role when called upon. However, if they play well, their stock will grow, and that will help us unload. Agreed. That's true. I just think at some point, if everybody's healthy and they're all playing well, if Cam is playing well, Grimes is playing well, IQ's playing well, RJ's playing well, Randle's playing well, Fournier's playing well, blah, 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 down the line, then at some point, it's the same blueprint of what they did when they got to the 4th seed. They said we play really good on defense. Everybody looks like they bought into Tibbs' system. You know what? Elfrid Payton plays great defense, but he can't really score the basketball. Let's look for an upgrade offensively there. We can sacrifice it because we're already playing really great team defense. Reggie Bullock is one of our really good pieces, but he wants a bigger role. We got to pay him. Who do we pay, him or Burks? Burks is a little better offensively, and he plays decent defense. He's not Reggie Bullock level defense. Let's keep Burks. We should be okay. That's what they did. We'll see. I hear you. Shout out to my guy Jay Boogie in the building. Shout out to the chat. Blessings, health, and safety. You all. This is about to be a shocking season to all the daughters and haters. We are so deep around the board. Everybody is in proven mode. Yes, show and prove time. I'm with you. That may be true too, Andy. It might be a make or break for Cam in the NBA. It's year 4, and I think the average shelf life of NBA players is 4 years for like just your average run-of-the-mill players. Nothing too special about them. Just came into the league. Like, usually they get the 4 years and then they're up out of here, or They might be able to stay on an NBA team in a marginal role, but a lot of them get out of the NBA or they go overseas. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Cam, but this is definitely a year, especially it's a money year too. If Cam doesn't look good this year, it's really going to affect his pockets. I mean, look what happened with Schroeder. Look what happened with Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder. Like the thought that I'm not going to take $80 million because I'm going to play for myself, and I think I can get more. And look what he's gotten since. That is bananas. It's kind of messed up. Honestly, I think it's messed up. I feel bad for him, but that's what happens when you get a little too cocky and you don't take, like, people would kill for $80 million. Like, what are we doing here, Dennis Schroeder? I don't know. Building Block says, y'all know Cam doesn't want to be here. He wants his money. Well, maybe true. Ashley Inc. Salute. I think the universe is aligning to give Cam a chance to flourish. It looks like it, man. I mean, he can't be. I mean, what else can you say? Like, things are working out in a certain way for him. You got to take advantage of it and do what he's got to do. Wow. That's very positive, Parrish. He said, coming from an OB and quickly guy, if Randle continues this smile he has and plays hard on both ends, he is going to be an Eastern All-Star. He might be right. Listen, I want Randle to do great. If he does well, the Knicks do well. And if he does well and there's some other issues that are not obvious to people, if they're behind closed doors and the Knicks feel like they need to make a move, they can trade him because he's increased his value. Shout out to my guy, Jay Boogie. Thank you for the generous super chat, man. Appreciate you. It's a make or break season for the league. We here, baby. Prepare for electricity. Some shocking is going to go on. I like it. I like it. Yeah, man. I'm with you. I'm feeling really optimistic about it. As I said before, I think the Knicks can win 43 games. Anything they do above that, I'll be pleasantly surprised and happy. But I think they could put it together and get 43 wins. 43-39 seems like a fair record to me. It's a winning season. It puts you in position to be in the play-in. And if you're in the play-in, who knows what can happen from there. Right. Yes, he was. Grimes was bad at the line and in the summer league. Yep. Agent Sabardo said Cam's future in the NBA depends on Tibbs. Only with minutes given will he be able to showcase his talents. This is a contract year for Cam. This kid wants to ball out. I agree. But like I said, he better get some aggressiveness, some bulldog in him. He needs to go at everybody's head in practice and training camp. He needs to say, listen, that's your spot. I'm going to take your spot. I don't want your spot, but I'm going to take your spot because I can do that. That's how Cam needs to play. Cam needs to, not saying he's going to take the point guard spot, but I'm going to be facilitating. I'm going to pass the ball. I'm going to find the right reads. Shooting guard, I'm going to be scoring from the shooting guard spot. I'm going to play defense. Whoever I'm guarding on the team, I'm going to lock them down. Same thing with the small forward spot. RJ, if I got to guard you, I'm locking you down. And if I'm not locking you down, I'm scoring more than you. You're not going to stop me on the court. Cam needs to go out there and play like that in training camp and practice. That's what he needs to do. Craig in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. He said, Ron, I made a missing report for John. You hear that, John? People are looking for you, man. They're wondering where you at, bro. Play the 3-and-D role, right? That's right, Jeffrey Clafter. No, he did not. I don't know if Evan practiced yesterday, Shah. I didn't hear about that, so I'm not sure. You see it. Listen to the man, guys. Listen. 84 people watching, or 88 people watching now. Smash that like button, man. Support the show, man. We appreciate the love. We need them likes so YouTube knows we serious about this. We here. And I know some of y'all might be on your mobile devices, on your phones. Listen, if you're on your mobile device, I want you to get on that live chat area, right? Get that live chat area rocking, and boom. Let me see right here. I'm going to show people this because you know what? I feel like on shows, a lot of times it just doesn't happen because people see this. They just get used to what you got going on. It's a part of the show, right? See that, guys? See the live chat? There you go. You see that X right there? Hit that X. Boom. And then click that like button. Hit that like button. We got 43 likes right there. Hit that like button. And then after you hit the like button, hit the middle button for the live chat. And now you're back to the way the show is supposed to be intended. That's all you got to do. I think some people, honestly, I'm not joking around or trying to be any way. I think some people really don't know when they're watching the show. I can't hit the like button. I got the live chat here. Hit that X, close the live chat, hit the like, and then come back and hit the live chat. And then you are rocking. Let's go. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. I can't tell you how much this show runs on your energy, your feedback, and what you guys bring to the table. So thank you. Everybody says it, and we can all be right. This is one of the best chats in the business. I appreciate all y'all. And y'all know that it's true because y'all hear this on other shows where you go. So you all make up the best chats. Thank you once again. Appreciate y'all, man. Building Block says Cam will get another opportunity elsewhere next season, even if he doesn't have a good season or gets any playing time. Potential opportunity is there for the next 2 seasons. He'll get another chance. I agree because he is that much of a talent that people don't want to watch something like that go. You know what I mean? You don't want to not have a chance to cultivate it, not have a chance to see if it blossoms in your system. And he's still fairly young, so why wouldn't they take a chance? I'm just saying money-wise, it could affect him big time. Money-wise could definitely affect him. But as far as a shot, yeah, he'll still be in the league. He wouldn't go nowhere. Not yet, at least. D Cooler says my prediction is that Cam is probably out of here by All-Star break. Could be right. Thunny Music in the building. Evan and Grimes didn't practice. Okay. Appreciate that, Thunny Music. Salute to you, bro. Pudge Nice in the building. Pudge Nice is here. What's good, Pudge? Hey, my guy Jay Ellis, Nick of Time show in the building. You're what's up, man? Nick Yak is in the building. Salute. He says clearly our best lineup and big lineup would have RJ back at the 2 guard and Cam at the 3. Look, Nick Yak, I really like that lineup. I would love to see it. I don't know if the Knicks feel it works for them. I don't know if Thibodeau feels like he can coach that lineup. This sounds crazy, but I don't know. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Oh, boy. John said he's good. He's listening in and chilling with his little ones watching Moana. As well, you should, man. Good movie. The graphics are great. Shout out to the family. D-Raz in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Oh, man. Chilling, man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Andy N says Evan is not practicing because he's after the it's after the Eurobasket league tournament, whatever that is. He is in season mode already. That is true. Out of everybody, Evan Fournier is up to speed. I would say RJ should have been too, but I don't really know what happened with RJ and that Canadian team and like what. Maybe I'm bugging out. I don't know the timetable and the frame for all that, but I didn't really see anything happen with that. I know he practiced with them. I don't know where any of that went. I don't know. I don't know how that whole thing works. And I don't watch Olympic basketball, so I don't really. I'll be honest with you. My days of Olympic basketball are far and over. I don't know. I don't care as much. I'll be honest. Craig says, "Run with no Evan and no Grimes, and hopefully Cam will get a lot of playing time." Yeah, but just because Evan didn't practice doesn't mean he's not going to be playing in the preseason game. Because, like Andy said, he's already in game shape. He's been playing. He's fit. He's conditioned, so he might still be out there. Oh shoot! I hit that button and I went too far down, didn't I? Yes, I did. All right. I love it. Black coffee, no sugar with clove. Yeah, man. You welcome, King Sipes. I try not to, man. That's just who I am. Plus, I don't think it really does good for my voice. I got a deep voice. Sometimes it's deeper than other times. When I get loud, it just puts a real strain on my throatalicals. Yeah. Plus, that's that's just my my demeanor. I'm laid back. I'm chill. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. Appreciate you once again. He said, "We'll be proud of this sound this year." Bing bong. I don't know. I'm thinking the Knicks, because the Knicks are such homers. They're gonna try to bring it back a little bit, but I really think at some point you should try to find something new. Maybe there's something new that fits this season. New look, new attitude, new sound. How about that? But I like this, Parrish. Appreciate your comments and your super chat. You definitely are in a positive mood, man. I like that. It's good to see. Ron 2K. I like it. Hey, Staffer Don in the building. What's good, Staffer? Appreciate you, man. Good to see you. Okay. Thank you, Andy. International Andy always coming through with the information. Appreciate you, brother. He said Team Canada played in the AmeriCup with a third suit squad. Huh. So, like, what's going on, Andy? Hit me to what's happening. When did the Olympics happen I don't know. I'm so confused, bro. I'll be honest. Like, I don't see this stuff. I don't get updates. I don't get alerts. I don't know what is happening. Am I missing something? Like, what the hell happened? I'm so confused. I don't know what happens. I don't know how they run these international tournaments, especially when it comes to the Olympics and stuff. I don't know. Or is it because this is not an Olympic year, so these are just qualifying tournaments? Like how like I know Olympic athletes always have the nationals and stuff, and they have that happen for every few years or whatever to determine who is the best to represent them when the Olympics come back around. Is this one of those years? Because if that's the case, then I understand why we didn't see some other stuff. That makes sense to me, because I'm like a little confused about it. Knicks for life, my guy Chuck Allen in the building. Great talk last night, Chuck. Appreciate all you have, all your information, all you lend. Chuck is Chuck is such a quiet soul, but he has such a wealth of knowledge, and he's a musical library, as well, man. The guy, he has it up here, and he's got it in his war chest of stuff that he owns, man. This guy's got 45 CD. Oh, he's got records, all types of stuff, man. The guy's got you might be like a, nobody beats the Wiz in your house. So Appreciate you, man. And if y'all didn't check that out, we were on Vibes and Stuff last night talking about R&B music because I love talking about R&B, and it was a comparison. And so the point was, is New Edition the best R&B group ever? So needless to say, there was a lot of conversation last night. It was almost 2 hours of talk about New Edition, their impact, and if they really are the best R&B group or if there's somebody else out there better. And we went through a lot of different groups. So it was pretty cool. Vibes and Stuff. Check it out. My man, Uncle Freezy and Chuck Allen, Knicks for life. And let's see. Oh, shout out to DSJ, Delano Still Jr., who was on the show as well last night. Let's see who. There we go. Felicia Lee is in the building. Good to see you, Felicia. Appreciate you. Always glad to see you in the building. And Rich Boy. That's it. Rich Boy in the building. Salute. Good to see you. I think I got everybody, but definitely, guys, whoever, if you're new, coming in right now, smash that like button. Appreciate, man. We definitely need it. We love the support. It's been great. You guys have been rocking. You've been fantastic. Also, guys, feel free to jump in. If you guys want to jump on the show and talk a little bit, by all means. I know I do. I think I do a decent, adequate job of holding the show down and talking and getting into the topics. But by all means, don't be afraid to jump in if you want to jump in the show and chop it up a little bit. You are welcome. Honestly, I have a lot of ideas and stuff that I think about, but it's kind of hard to put it all in motion sometimes. And I'll share this idea with you because it didn't happen, and I'm probably not going to do it right now. Maybe it'll happen some other time. But so as you guys know, I talked about some of the newer content creators and some of the content creators that I haven't mentioned in the past. But guess what? I really wanted to get them all on the show today, right? So they could really big up their platform and talk about what they got going on. But it's so hard in a little amount of time, in 2-3 days, to get these people all together. It's a Saturday. People got families, people got jobs. So that was the plan. But there's always next time. There's always, when you have a little bit more time to think and put things out there, sometimes it'll work better that way. But that was the idea, because I think that would be really cool. People need to be able to not only tell you about their stuff, but it's also nice to hear from them. I mean, tell you about their platform, but it's also nice to hear who they are as people, because there might be a little bit more that you get to know about them. Andrew Gutierrez is in the building. And the link is in the chat, John. I sent it, and right after I sent it, you already put the comment in. John, we here, buddy. We here. Appreciate you, Andrew Gutierrez. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Parrish Duggar. He said, thank you for the generous super chat. He said, F that. Bing bong is our sound. All NYC visitors know. I mean, listen, you may be right. Listen, I don't know. I just don't know if Bing Bong has been that flattering to us. It's not like Bing Bong happened when we were the 4th seed and we were doing some crazy things. Bing Bong happened last year for the most part, right? Am I not mistaken? So I don't know if it brings good juju. I don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe you're right. Maybe Bing Bong will flip everything around this year, and it'll be a staple. Agent Super Argo says the Knicks don't need to sign any more veterans after letting most of them leave. Let the youth development continue. Saw Taj Gibson racking up 3-point shots in Japan with the Wizards against the Warriors. Yeah, man. That's what's happening. That is what happened. I don't know. Look, I expect Taj Gibson to play a good role for the Wizards. That's another player in a veteran role that will give them a lot of veteran know-how, and he will complement that team over there. Wizards are going to be okay this year if they're healthy. So the other thing that I was talking about with regards to how I was mentioning how guys need to, put the onus on the front office and on Tibbs. The best way to do that is by playing well, playing good basketball. And I believe I know exactly what you're trying to say, JL. That's a fact. Tom Thibodeau definitely did a great job developing Taj Gibson last season, because he would not play guys on the bench and just let Taj play all types of crazy minutes, no matter what. Yeah, whatever. It was crazy. I don't know how you play Taj 30-plus minutes and you got Jericho Sims healthy sitting on the bench. Crazy. Anyway, so as I was saying, I think there are a number of players on this Knicks team that will have better years. Like, I think RJ is going to have a better year. I think Julius Randle is going to have a really good year as well. Let me see. I think Emmanuel quickly will be better as well. Derrick Rose, if healthy, the year's automatically going to be better than it was last year because he'll be healthy, right? And we know when Derrick Rose is healthy, he plays. I mean, he's a good player. But these 5 names are the 5 names that I think are the difference makers. If these 5 names play well this year, the Knicks will be a problem. I'm not saying they're going to be elite. Not saying they're going to be championship contenders. All right. But if these 5 names play well, the Knicks not only will get, I think, those 43 wins, maybe more. I think they'll definitely be fighting in that play-in. Maybe they won't even need to be. Maybe they can sneak it. If these 5 players play well with those other players that I think are going to do good, they may not even have to worry about the play-in. Maybe they can get to that 6th spot. Isaiah Hartenstein. We hear so much about his talent and what he brings to the equation. I know a lot of people have been concerned and saying, well, I mean, Hartenstein this, Hartenstein that. If he's so good, why did the Clippers let him go? Well, the Clippers already had a starting center over there, and the starting center was not bad. It's not like you could just say, well, we are just going to put Hartenstein as a starter and get rid of this guy. No, I mean, he was good. He was good for them. He brings a certain skill set as well. He's strong. He's a good rebound. Like, their starting center is good. Is what it is. And because their starting center is good, they have to pay him at a higher clip. And so having Hartenstein as a really good backup, having to pay him a little higher clip now because he deserves the money. With everything else you got going on, with bringing in, John Wall, having Paul George, having a healthy Kawhi Leonard back, having Reggie Jackson, that's a lot of money tied up into players. So it doesn't necessarily make sense to tie up so much money in your center position with your starter and your backup. I can understand it. It's a business. So that's why we were able to get Hartenstein. But it doesn't mean that Hartenstein wasn't a good player and the Clippers didn't need him or didn't like him. They definitely did. So Hartenstein needs to be what he has been. Because if he does that for this Knicks team, that's going to be a big help. He's a very solid defender, one of the better defenders at his position and on the perimeter from his position in the league. Like, as far as a big, he helps out a lot on the perimeter. Very good at that. He can block shots. He's decent at that. He can rebound the ball. He's, here and there. I think he, we know he can stretch the floor and stuff like that. But like I said, don't count on him shooting a bunch of threes. Just understand that he's got a mid-range. He can score down low. He can give them some points. And that's all we need. Let's see. Who else? Jalen Brunson. That's right, folks. Jalen Brunson. If Jalen Brunson has a good year, in which I believe 100% that he will, he may not have the same year that he had with Dallas, because the Knicks have to figure out how to get the floor spacing right. We know that the Knicks struggle sometimes with floor spacing. Dallas did a really good job at floor spacing. So we got to see how they work that out. That's a plan for the coaching staff, and they need to do it right. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Knicks need better spacing. We've always needed better spacing. So if Jalen Brunson has the season that I think he will have, it's a combination of him basically somewhere in between what he does when he was with Luka, and somewhere in between what he did when Luka wasn't there. If he plays like that in between those two, that's a great season for him on this Knicks team. Obi Toppin. If Obi Toppin can somehow improve on his offense, work on certain things down low, get a go-to move or so, be able to attack the paint, do something other than just dunking and shooting the three, the Knicks will be a problem. They'll be an issue for teams. And he also has to work on his defense. He's just got to, there's too many guys like Obi that we've seen come and go in the league. Dunkers, the Corey Maggettys of the world. You want to say Amari Stoudemire. You want to say – now, in fairness, Amari Stoudemire was a gifted, talented offensive player. So he took his offensive game to the next level. So he was able to get away with not playing strong defense. And look, if Obi Toppin can turn into an Amari Stoudemire, great. I'll take it. It'll make up for his lapses on defense, but he got to get there first. And that's going to take a minute. Even if he can get to the level of Blake Griffin. See, that's the thing. Blake Griffin couldn't shoot either. He was just a dunker who could, he was ferocious with it, but incredible leaper. But he put up his points, didn't he? Like, he was a big part of the Clipper teams. Obi can do that too. Will he? Don't know. Cam Reddish. If Cam has a good season for these New York Knicks, I don't even have to say it, guys. I mean, the Knicks will be a problem. If all those other guys have good seasons and Cam has a good season, the Knicks will be a problem. It's not even a question. So I don't think I have to even elaborate. You guys know Cam's got the talent. He just needs to go for it. He needs to go get it, and he needs the playing time. Case closed. And lastly, this is the one that I think may surprise some people. Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier doesn't have to do much to improve on last season. All he needs to do is try to play the solid defense, like try to stay in front of your guy, use your help. Whenever you need help, use the help and recover quickly to pick up their man when you guys doing switches and stuff. Stay active in the passing lanes, which is what he was doing in the second half of the season, where he was getting steals. He was being very effective doing that. Continue to shoot the three ball. Don't worry about trying to break a guy off the dribble and get to the rim. That's what passing is for. You could break the guy off the dribble. Like if a guy presses up on you and you're about to shoot the three, then fake him out, start heading to the hoop, pass the ball to a teammate. You know what I mean? Don't waste the play because you may not have the proper finishing skills to complete the play. Pass the ball to someone else who can move it from there. And I know it sucks because sometimes you might say, well, damn, if Fournier has a step on him, how can he not take it? Well, he can take it. He can like pass up on the 3-point shot and then shoot a mid-range shot. Okay. Pass up on the 3-point shot and then get into the lane and shoot a floater. But when you get all the way into the lane and it's layup time, this is when it's a problem. I don't know. I don't know what that is, guys. But that's when it becomes an issue. So I think if Evan has a good season and he has to improve his free throws. It sucks living in buildings and nobody opens the damn door for people. And I'm sure it's not even for me because I'm not waiting for nobody. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Well, New York City, man. New York City is what it is. I'm a New Yorker through and through. So, yeah, that's what I think. If Evan Fournier has a good year and all those other guys have good years and Evan improves on his free throw shooting, because I think that's important, man, because Evan can draw fouls. But the way he shoots from the outside, people are going to press up on him and they're going to attack him. And sometimes they're going to make poor judgment calls and they're going to foul him. He's got to knock down his free throws. How is it that two of our best perimeter shooters, Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes, struggle at the free throw line? What the hell is going on? Isn't that crazy? This is why I got mad at Tom Thibodeau. And I keep thinking that it gets swept under the rug. For Tom Thibodeau to be such a defensive coach, a disciplinarian, this is a fundamental thing. For the Knicks to struggle at free throws, what the hell are you doing, Thibodeau? How is that possible? I don't get it. A guy who's such a disciplinarian has a certain way about it, the way he preaches defense and all this stuff. And you're telling me that you don't focus on free throw shooting, that your guys don't have the discipline to shoot better at the line, that's not something you emphasize? Am I bugging when I say that? And I still haven't heard them emphasize that in training camp, in practice. I haven't heard Thibodeau. That should be one of the first things Thibodeau talks about. Free throw shooting. Guys get to the line. You got RJ and Randle, who are two of the more aggressive people in the NBA at getting into the paint. They both struggle finishing sometimes, RJ more than Randle. And then you get to the free throw line, you don't knock down your free throws. Now, Randle's a better free throw shooter. Not taking that away from him. I'm just saying in general, that's how you play. That's how this team plays. So that should be an emphasis, a focus for everybody. And your best shooters struggling from the free throw line? That don't make no sense. That doesn't make any sense. How can you be a really good shooter or have great form and can knock it down and get streaky and then be a poor free throw shooter? It's a free shot. Whatever. I don't know. That gets me mad. I don't know why that gets me mad. I got mad. It's crazy. It's nuts. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Appreciate you guys, man. Damn. OG Face 3 in the building. It's 8:49 a.m. in Alaska. Shout out to OG Face, everybody. That man is a trooper. 8:49 a.m. in Alaska. Nick of Time show. Blake had Chris Paul and Amari had Steve Nash. Well, maybe Obi Toppin's got Jalen Brunson. Maybe. I think Jalen can be a good facilitator and find ways to get Obi. And they've been working together. And, even I know it's pickup games, but they look good. Looks like the timing was sort of there. And, remember, the Knicks have been in a position without true point guard play for quite some time. So to get a guy who's adequate and can because other guys have found him. We talked about how Quickly used to find Obi. And Obi and Quickly are still young pups in regards to the NBA game. And Quickly was still learning how to facilitate. So a guy like Brunson should be able to open up Obi's game. I would think he should be able to open up Mitch's game too. We'll see. Yeah, I think I don't know. And you know what? It could be for me because I did when I opened the door, I did hear somebody drop a box. I don't know if it's for me because they do that crap all the time, but we'll see. Randle 36 minutes. Obi will get 12, replacing Randle. Where else is he getting minutes? We are not playing small ball with 3 good centers. That is a very good point, Nick Yak. I know that is a very good point because in the past we would try to play small ball, but it's also because we had deficiencies. Noel was hurt. Taj Gibson was on Father Time's time. You know what I mean? We didn't want to throw him out there unless we had to. Now we're in a situation where we got Mitch, Hartenstein, and Jericho Sims. So how do you play small ball? Excuse me. How can, and maybe in fairness to Tibbs, maybe that's what he was trying to say. He should have said it that way. That's what see, this is what I'm talking about, Nick Yak. Some people, need to be feeding these guys lines. Like, listen, if they ask you this question, how are you going to respond? Nope, that won't work. Because then they're going to think this. That is something you should have said. Thibodeau should have said, why would I play small ball? And yes, would it help? Would it get these guys more minutes on the floor? Absolutely. But how can I play small ball when I've got Mitchell Robinson at center and I've got a really solid backup in Isaiah Hartenstein, and then backing him up is Jericho Sims? So you're telling me that I would rather go small ball with Obi and Julius Randle than giving Jericho Sims a chance to be on the floor? That's what he should have said. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Come on, guys. What's going on here? Keisha says, look what the Kings coach is doing. If you miss a free throw in practice, the whole team has to run. Facts. That's how we were taught basketball. That's how you learned as a kid. And it followed you throughout everything you did. If you were fortunate enough to play, in higher levels and of basketball, professional levels, whatever it be, the AAUs, the JUCO, whatever it is. That stuff doesn't go anywhere. That's how you taught. That's how you learn. And that's how everybody on the team takes it serious. That's why, honestly, I like watching young teams play. So I'm assuming like teams like OKC, and I'm not saying the Knicks don't do this. I'm saying teams like OKC, when you got a whole lot of young people on the roster, you can still do that stuff and get away with it because those young guys aren't established yet, and they know that this is the way we do things. It's the protocol, and they fall right in line. It's tougher when you got veteran players. Not saying they don't do it, not saying they won't do it, but the young people are already receptive to it. They've been doing it every level of sports. So the older players, as they get better, sometimes these guys don't even. I mean, we're in a different time now because of how things have happened with the health and safety protocols and injuries and stuff. But back in the NBA heyday when everything was rocking, there's some guys that didn't even practice. Not a game. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a little different. G. Robinson in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Right. I see that, JLS. I know. And he did mention it. I know he's working on his free throws. He has to. He has to. His game, the way he plays, he needs to. It's ridiculous. And all that's going to do is open him up easier for easier scoring opportunities because that's what he does. G. Robinson said we was top 5 in the league in getting to the line and ranked at the bottom in free throw percentage. That's facts. That is facts. JB is going to be huge for this team. I agree. I like Obi over Randle, but Obi has not improved in 3 years. 2 years. Remember, this is his 3rd year, and it hasn't started yet. But I hear you. Parrish Duggan said, pressure is an MF. Free throws are a part of adjusting in New York City. We're going to be, we are going to be Grimes and Fournier will be better. RJ and Randle will be good enough. I agree. I think they have to be. They can't be worse. I mean, listen, if they can't, neither one of them can shoot worse at the free throw line than they did this past year, because then that's just awful. Nick of Time Show says Obi has IQ. LOL. There's chemistry is crazy, but I'm excited to have a starting guard that can feed Obi too. Facts. Yes, agreed. The Nick of Time Show. RJ needs to work on not being a straight line dribbler. Defenders force him to the left and help him come and block his shots or foul him. Yeah, he does get caught up. Sometimes he forces the issue too much. That's true, Serwin. And when he gets down low, he's got no place else to go, and then he's surrounded, and then it turns out to be a poor attempt at the shot, a poor shot attempt, or it's a turnover. True. That's a very good point. That is correct. He is not getting a lot of minutes. I think Obi deserves to get somewhere in between 13 and 16 minutes. I don't know if they can find that for him, but I think that's what he should be getting, because outside of what Obi needs to work on, how he needs to improve, the guy affects, the basketball flow of the game. Not, the pace. Knicks always slow in pace. That is what it is. But he affects the flow of the game, the transition, getting them running, getting them moving. Knicks are horrible in fast breaks because they don't push it a lot. They try to push, but they don't got guys that get up and down the court, especially in the starters. Now, maybe with Brunson here, maybe they'll be pushing the ball more. So we'll see. We got to see how that works. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, guys. Normally, I would have other people talking so I could just bounce out and take a little quick break and grab something, but I got to get some water. So give me 1 second. You know what I'll do? Since I didn't do it, I got right into it. Let me hit you guys with a really awkward late intro while I go grab some water. How about that? Yeah, that'll work. Be right back, guys. All right. And I am back. You see it. The black bottle. All right. Okay. Where was I? Knicks fan Brazil is in the building. What's going on, Victor? Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. Heck Breezo is in the building. Heck, what's good? What did he say? Grimes being hurt. Cam should be splitting minutes with Fournier to start the season. Hopefully he seizes the opportunity. Facts. Agreed. Nick D is in the building. Salute. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. Appreciate you. Smash that like button, guys, if you haven't already done so. Hit that like button. Hey, man, I hear you, Parrish. Yeah. It's crazy. And I hope I can give y'all, especially on the East Coast, I hope I can give y'all a little entertainment, some solace, a place to talk about these Knicks, because it is a rainy, rainy day on the East Coast. Apparently, it is going to... Wow, it's gonna rain all day, all into tomorrow. I see that it shows me up until 12 p.m. tomorrow, and it's still raining. It doesn't even show when it stops. Yo, this is crazy. This is the remnants of the hurricane, or the tropical storm, whatever it turned into. But yeah, this is going to be lingering, so it's going to be very gloomy. It's like we sleepless in Seattle. It is what it is, folks. Sharice Duncan is in the building. Wacko in Brooklyn is here. Salute. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Smash that like button on your way in. As I said to other people, and I showed because, like I said, I wasn't trying to be silly or anything. Some people may not know. You know, if you're on your mobile device, hit the X where the live chat is. It closes the live chat window. Hit that like button, and then hit the live chat button that's in the middle, and bring the live chat right back up so you don't miss a thing. Appreciate you guys. Oh, I feel like Die Hard right now. Still, Knicks fans has a friend. What up, Staffa?
What's good, man?
What's happening, bro? You working today or you off?
Nah, I'm off today, yo. I'm off today. Thank God, man.
Oh man. What you waiting for, man? You should have been in here then.
You know what? I see you struggling. I see, you know what? Let me go in there and support my man, because you look like you were struggling a little bit.
I'm dying right now, Staffa. I'm congested. I'm trying to blow my nose. I'm nasal. I've been nasal for a couple days now. I don't really get colds, but I do suffer from sinus stuff, especially allergy season. So when there's a weather change and I'm sleeping with the fan and stuff like that, sometimes a brother goes through it, man. So this is one of them moments.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. But I couldn't leave you hanging though. I couldn't leave you hanging. I felt real bad.
I appreciate it, man. But I'm just happy to hear from you. It's been a while since we chopped it up on Still Knicks fans. I know sometimes we chop it up on Dope Soul Sports Talk or whatever, but yeah, man, it's nice to have you here, man. Everybody, you guys are friends and family of the show, man. I welcome all of y'all here, man. And then some of the newcomers too, like the people in the chat, who still haven't found their voice. There's no time like the present. Here's the time to jump on, man. It's quiet. There's only a couple of us here. You're welcome to jump in. Last week, or was it the week before? I don't know. I think it was last week. Francisco Carrillo showed himself. He came on here for a minute. That was dope. So yeah, man.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. Shout out to John. Shout out to the Nick of Time show, Jay Ellis. Jump on the show, man. Jump on the show. If you only got 5 minutes, Jay Ellis, jump on. Shout out to Pudge Nice, Nick for Life, D Ras, all the originals, Greg the Troll, everybody, JJ, everybody. So you already know. Big up everybody, man.
Facts. More fire. Yeah, man. Thank you guys as always for supporting the show. Smash that like button, as John has said. There he goes. Look at that. On cue. Boom. Yeah, man. Smash that like button. We appreciate y'all. And I'm just gonna pop it up. I already went through this, guys. So if you just tuned in and you didn't see earlier, I went over another set of names in the Knick community that I think you guys all need to follow and check out. Really good content. So I'm gonna pop the names up again, just so you guys see it. So these are the names of Knick content creators or people who are a part of the Knick community that we should rock with. Okay, you guys already know the list of names I've put up there in the past. That list is still here. I got it. I'm gonna pop that up eventually again too, because those are, those were the staples that I, when I came in, a lot of those people were the ones that I followed into the game, and they definitely helped me a lot being a part of this Knick community. But check out Dope Soul Sports Talk, excuse me, Delusional Knicks Fan, D's World of Hoops, Knicks Fans Brazil, my man Victor, Riding with the Knicks, Die Hard Giants Live with my man I Am Jarrell, Yankees Morning Brew with my guy Project Nerd, aka Heck, Tsunami Speaks, my girl, the bowling chick in the building. Also, the BX Sports Jedi Network with my guy Kev. You got OUA Knicks podcast, right? You got the Garden of Knicks with my guy Tone Wu. You got the Morning Drive with Danny B. And last but not least, we've got Knicks in 30 with my guy Trippy. Really good podcasts, really good shows. Definitely check them all out. Show your love. More and more people to look at and rock with in this Knick community. I'm subscribed to everybody, so I try to do my best to show everybody love. But you guys should definitely check out all of these shows if you haven't already. It's really good content. So shout out to them. All right, boom. All right. So, Staffer, I know you've been in the chat, you've been listening, you've been hearing what we've been talking about. You got any opinions on what's going on? Like, first off, what do you think about this whole thing about Tibbs and him saying that he doesn't think that the option of putting Randle and Obi out there at the same time works? How do you feel? Do you think he's right? Do you think that he should still give it a try? What do you think about all that?
I mean, we've been having this discussion for a long time. Shout out to the Queen. Shout out to Uncle Freezy on these platforms. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it just because of the reason of the defensive parameters, I should say. Because you have a guy in Obi that can't move his hips. He can't really defend properly. And don't get me wrong, Randle is a decent defender, but he's gonna have to be helping Obi out a lot. And and that might exhaust him, getting tired a lot. So I don't see it. I don't like it. But at the same time, I have heard people say that I'll at least give it at least 3-4 minutes. Right? So I mean, it could probably be done in 3-4 minutes, but I don't see it as a long-term thing because Tom Thibodeau, he loves protecting the paint, and he's gonna always have Mitchell and Hartenstein in there to protect the paint. He'd rather give up the three than people coming in the paint. So he's right. The numbers talk for itself. It's better to protect the paint than to have people just coming in and doing what they want. So I see it as a disaster. As I said, Obi, his defense, his footwork on defense, I don't see it. I don't see it. It's very poor. I mean, he could defend, but it's not going to work. Only for certain spur moments of the game, you could probably do that, but I'm not a big fan of it, Ron.
I hear you. I hear you. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, listen, I'm just thinking, like, if you say that you're trying to get Obi out there more and figure out ways to play him, how are you going to do this? Why make a statement like that? And I'm not saying Dame made the statement. You know, the statement was per Ian Begley from wherever he got it. We know Ian Begley is an insider, so don't just think that Ian Begley, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying people out there, don't just think Ian Begley is making this stuff up. He's hearing it from somebody who is a reliable person, that's what they're trying to do. So if that's what they're trying to do, how are they trying to do it? Unless, and this is like the big one, which we haven't seen yet since he's been here, unless they cut Julius Randle's minutes. Unless they say Julius is going to play anywhere from 28 to 32 minutes, which 32 is still a lot, you know what I mean? But if they're saying like on a given night, maybe he'll play 28 minutes, you know, maybe there'll be days where they play him a little less and get Obi in. I don't see any other way that this could happen, because if you're not playing them both at the same time, then what are we doing here? Because we know Julius plays around 30 minutes no matter what. So how does this work?
It also depends. Say, for instance, it's a small matchup, right? Like, say, for instance, let's say we play Charlotte, and Charlotte has PJ Washington at the 5, right? And let's say they have Gordon at the 4. You could probably do that in that particular matchup right there, right? Because, you know, it's even out right there, right? But at the same time, Gordon Hayward could still take Obi off the dribble just because Obi's not a good defensive guy moving his hips. But I'm just trying to show you, for example, it could still do it, but it's just the whole defensive mechanism, man. You see, if Obi was probably a good defender, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
I don't think we'll be having this conversation if we think Obi was a good defender. Then you could say, all right, we could play them at the 4 and the 5. But it's just because he's not a good defender, we don't see it that way, you know what I mean? And people want to see, you know, because it might play faster. But I think it's all dependent on the matchup too, and in certain instances, certain games. You know, depending on how small the team go, he might want to do that. But knowing Tom, he gonna always wants his defensive stopper in there to defend that paint.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. And I put the link in the chat, guys. So if you want it, apparently someone has an opinion that they want to share. So okay, I'm with it. That's all right. Salute to you. And can I do this real quick? I'm only gonna put it up for like 2 seconds, guys. Come on, Andy. Shame on you, Andy. Shame on you. I hope you're just messing around, man. You guys know that this is already in place. Y'all seen this before. You see the usual suspects. Come, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Y'all see MBK. Y'all see Blorange Tears. Y'all see Knicks and Brute. Come on, y'all don't play with me. I just don't want to talk about that yet, because I like to dedicate time to big up those, you know, all of these people. And I want to get into all of it the way I normally do. But right now, today's focus was on the newer people in the Knicks community and a couple people that I failed to mention in the past. So, you know, that's why the other guys you used to see them, they're there. They're just, I don't want to bring them up right now. It'll be probably another show where I'll give you the streets is buzzins, the diehard Knicks, you know, guard up Knicks. You know, they on the list, guys. You see it. Once again, boom, you see it. You know, raw Hebrew, you see it. Come on, guys, don't do that.
I just want to make this clear, right? We were 11 in defense last year. So we were a good defensive team. But when you're talking about individual, that's what I'm talking about as far as Obi. As a team, we are good on defense. So I don't want people to misconstrue my comments when I said Obi, he can't play defense, because he can't. He can't move his hips. He can't move. If that was the case, he would have been in 4 quarters.
JLS. Wow.
Europe was good.
What's good, Jay?
What's good? What's going on? What's going on, Don?
What's
chilling,
happening, man?
man.
What's happening?
Chilling. Yo, it's funny because I was getting into it yesterday on Twitter about this exact topic, and it's kind of hard to go back and forth on Twitter because I'm not really a good typer. I'm better at like verbalizing stuff, especially with the character limitations. But for me, obviously, OB does have defensive limitations, and that kind of limits the lineups that you can use. But to me, it's less about his limitations and more what Tibbs' hesitantness to play OB and Randle together represents, right? It's more about OB realistically only got 11 minutes a game. I know it says 17 minutes on the box score, but he realistically only got 11 minutes a game. And it's like, if he's only going to get 11 minutes a game, and on top of that, when Randle was playing bad, he still can't find an opportunity to get any minutes, then fans are just wondering, well, hell, where are the minutes going to come from? Even when Randle plays bad, he doesn't get minutes. So now they're trying to think of scenarios where they can give him minutes to actually develop. So when Tibbs goes, well, that doesn't work either, like, fans throw their hands up. And even though it might make sense to not really put them together for real because of the defensive limitations of both of those guys, like, fans are just frustrated that we have a top 10 pick playing 11 minutes a game in his second season. And even when he plays well, even when he has it going, even when he starts to make a push momentum and the young guys are outplaying the first unit, even when that happens, Tibbs puts him on the bench and plays Randle for 30-plus minutes when he's messing up, getting tired, and things of that nature. And that's really the bigger issue, but we're arguing over playing OB and Randle together. But that's not the real issue. It's kind of like when you and your girl get into like an argument about, I don't know, you didn't wash the dish, and it turns into like a 3-hour conversation. But it's not really about the dish.
Right.
It's not about the dish. It's like a deeper issue about how you never say what you're gonna do. That's the real thing that's happening right now. It's not about OB and Randle together.
Yeah, I agree. And let me say this real quick because I want to get to Nev because I know Nev has something he wants to talk about. And thank you for being here, Nev, by the way. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, man.
I just don't like, and I know Tibbs is look, you can't teach a guy new, a leopard don't change his stripes, all these phrases. I know who Tibbs is. He's a no nonsense guy. I mean, the dude don't even have a significant person, in his life because he's married to basketball. So a guy like that, you can't, you can only expect so much of his bedside manner is what it is. But it would have been so much nicer if Tibbs just said, listen, playing OB and Randle together, I'm willing to try anything, but I'm not going to do it if it doesn't work. If a situation presents itself and I can see how we can use that on the court, I'm willing to try it. And I even gave him a caveat earlier, thanks to the chat. I even said, he could have said, well, listen, I would love to do that, but what I don't want to do is figure out ways to go small when we've invested in 3 centers, when I got a guy in Jericho Sims who I don't know how I'm going to play. I'd rather give him minutes than figure out a way to force. Oh, wow. There's something going on out there.
It's New York. If I watch my stuff, I already know sirens and all that.
Yeah, I would rather him. No, I know. That's how it is. I get it all the time. I'd rather him say something like that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. All right, so Nev, go ahead, man. You say
Thanks,
what you want to
say. I've been hearing this thing since OB came into the league, how he's a bad defensive player. And I have totally disagreed with the whole concept to begin with. Because one analogy I have made is that if you take a sprinter and you ask him to race an ordinary person, that sprinter is going to win going forward, going backwards, going to the sides, going to the left. And that's what Obi is. What a lot of people don't realize, Obi is actually moving much faster than everybody else.
Absolutely.
He moving faster when he's running. When he knows where he's going, it's okay. When he doesn't know where he's going, which is defense, it doesn't look quite okay because he doesn't know how to slow down. He's actually, so for instance, if you take a good example is like when he plays against Gallinari can make one move, but Obi's making 2 and 3 moves, because he doesn't know how to modulate his speed. So that's the problem Obi's having. It's not that he cannot play defense. It's just that he hasn't learned to modulate his speed, how to go slower. So that's why a lot of coaches do not like to coach fast plays because they cannot get them to go slower. So that's Obi's number one problem. If Obi learns to modulate, and I think the perfect example that used to have that same problem was Derrick Rose. Because of Derrick Rose's quickness, he probably had the same very issue guiding slower guys. Faster guys is not a problem for Obi, but slower guys would give him a problem because he's still moving much faster than them. And everybody talks about how bad a defensive player he is, but nobody realizes it's because the guy is actually moving faster. And this is another analogy I like to make. If you take a Corvette and a Beetle, the Corvette is going to win no matter how you race the Corvette against the Beetle. It doesn't matter. And the sides, 1 tire, 2 tires, it doesn't matter. But if you put restrictions on the Corvette and tell the Corvette to win by only a car length, how tough you think it's going to be for the Corvette to win by just 1 car length of the Beetle?
Huh.
That is what Obi's going through. Obi is actually, and another important point is that Obi started playing the center position in college and in high school because of his height. He needs to learn how to play the other positions, how to play with his back to the basket. That's a transition period. It seems like we're not ready to give to this kid. And we prejudging him, and we're calling him a bad defensive player. We're calling him all kind of names. He cannot play with Julius Randle. To me, that is their best lineup. Julius Randle. If they get Obi to understand where he's coming from, what he needs to do, that is their best lineup. It's Julius Randle and Obi together. And another factor that I want to bring up to the panel, and you're going to see it when the season starts. If Obi is not starting next to Julius Randle is going to have a hard time staying on the Knicks because the paying fans are not going to just accept Julius Randle playing and Obi sitting. That's another dynamic I don't think management has really considered. And I see it coming pretty soon. Julius Randle, because as much as a lot of Julius Randle fans say he's talented, which he is, he also disrespected the fans. It wasn't nobody else. He did it. That apology hasn't happened. So where the fans can feel like this guy is truly contrite. It hasn't happened. It's more of an arrogance. Hey, I did it. I didn't have a right to do it, but I did it, and let's move on from it. And that's the approach everybody is taking. So therefore, it's going to be a very difficult process for Julius Randle, seeing the fans watching Obi sitting on the bench and Julius Randle playing. So if I were the coach, I would start them together, especially just to insulate Julius Randle from the fans, so he doesn't get booed. I would start them together, and Julius Randle, I would substitute Julius Randle first before Obi in just about every situation, just because I want to have the fans. I want to insulate Julius Randle from the fans. And after the first 3 months, anything after that, hey, if Julius is playing much better than Obi, if he's doing this, whatever, you play him. You go back to normal. But
Uh,
I don't really have a say, so what can I do?
Well, I tell you, Nev, that's an interesting approach to the Nick roster. I'm not, as a fan, I'm not opposed to seeing Obi and Julius out there at the same time if you do it in a situation that works for the Knicks. I don't know if I want to see them both starting. And I also don't know if it would really work long term because of the fact that I said is that Julius occupies a lot of space that Obi would be comfortable living in. Like, of course, Obi can do things around the perimeter, and he's not lefty, he's right-handed, so he's not forced to be on one side or the other. Julius kind of gravitates to the left side more. It is what it is. But I just think that the places where Julius likes to be is places Obi needs to be or go through. And it's a problem when they're both out there. It's the same way I feel a little something about RJ and Julius. I think they like to do the same things when they get into a paint and they attack from the same side. So it has worked, and sometimes it doesn't work. So it's a little funky, but I see what you're saying. The only thing that I would say to try to clear up how you're talking about Obi, because I think for some fans that's going to be a little iffy of a concept. I think what you're trying to say is that Obi, he does everything fast. It's true. He does. So are you saying that in reference to his defense that he anticipates quickly and he overreacts to things? So he thinks he's okay. So he sees a move coming or a guy's about to do something and then he's already anticipating he's moving. But because he's moving so fast, the guy may not move that fast when he's doing the move.
As fast as him.
Correct. And so then he's out of place.
A lot of things he doesn't rely on his recovery speed because he has that the ability to get beat and still recover.
Yeah, that's the only thing I appreciated from him last year. Like, he was bad on defense, but when he got more time, you started to see like how much he recovered from his mistakes by just getting back into the play. So I appreciate that.
He has that ability, because of how fast he's moving. So he can look bad on one play and still beat the guy to the rim because he's much faster than the guy. He hasn't learned to trust his ability. And that's part of the coaching problem we're having, Another thing I see, I'm going to disagree with you on this one.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta.
Yeah. Oh no, hey Jay, it's good to see you, bro. Thank you for jumping in, bro.
Yeah, get thanks for the 5 minutes, bro.
No problem.
Yeah, another issue where I'm going to disagree with you is that Obi is a player that does not need the ball, so therefore he can play with just about anybody. He's going to move without the ball. When you have a player that can move without the ball, there is no real restriction on their game. Is the player Julius is more restricted because he needs the ball in certain areas. He doesn't want to move the ball. Obi doesn't need to be a focal point of the offense. He can just be a participant and still get a lot of great shots because wherever there's an opening, he's just going to take it. Wherever if he feels like, and I've seen that dynamic in the summer when he was playing with Brunson, they would have that almost like a sense of where each other going to be already, because Obi is just moving, and Brunson was picking up on that a lot more than I have seen, in last year's any point in last year's season. The only person I was picking up on him eventually was Derrick Rose started. Well, when Derrick Rose got injured, Quickett started late in the season. But otherwise, the guy was running up and down the field and nobody would pass him the ball. There were times where I was so frustrated because he would be up and down the field and nobody would pass him the ball, or he would cut and nobody would give him, or he would have a small guy in the post, nobody gives him the ball. And I'm like, why is this happening? You know, why it feels like we just ignoring this player. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well,
So,
Nev, I will say this, and I want to get over to Wisdom because I see him. Appreciate you,
mhm,
Wiz. I my pushback would be, and I do agree with you that OB is much better suited at playing without the ball. He can move around the court and do a lot more. And he's the type of guy that OB could play with anybody. I do agree with that. The issue is OB hasn't shown the ability to be consistent at shooting a mid-range shot. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen OB be in a situation where he's a back down in the post scorer, right? So if you put him in a situation where Randle's out there and Randle's clogging the lane, for example, because mind you, Randle could be there and so could RJ. So one of them is clogging the lane, most likely Randle. That's one pathway that Obi doesn't have. So he can't just drive straight into the paint. There's got to be spacing. You know, the Knicks were poor at floor spacing last year. Hopefully with Jalen Brunson here, they'll be better, but we don't know. We got to see. So that allows him, if you're just thinking about it, that gives him two windows of operation. You give him the ball, he's running around on the court. That means he could shoot a perimeter three. But if the three's not open and he's not open in the catch and shoot, because Obi don't shoot off the dribble like that. We haven't seen it yet. So that means that he would have to live in the mid-range. And until we see that he can knock down those mid-range shots, which a lot of Knicks haven't shown that they can do that consistently. None of them really do it. Even Randle, who was doing it better last year, he kind of went away from it. And then everything was a fall away mid-range shot. So I'm not saying it can't happen or it can't work, but you got to be understanding that if the guy doesn't show that he plays that way, even if you could make it work, then you got to figure out what suits him the best because of how he does play. It can happen throughout the course of the season. Maybe Obi becomes a much better shooter. Maybe he becomes more of a Blake Griffin. You know, Blake Griffin opened up his game and he would shoot from three. He could shoot in the mid-range. He could obviously drive to the hole. Once he did that, he became a very dynamic player and you could use him in all types of ways. We just haven't seen it yet from Obi. I'm not saying he can't do it, but for right now, you got to work with what you know and figure out what's. I'm sure. Listen, maybe Thibodeau tries it, but if it doesn't look good and if it looks clunky and it doesn't look organized and it doesn't look like they have some type of system, he's going to go away from it quickly because he doesn't have the willingness to do it anyway. You know what I mean? He would just be trying it. So we got to see. Wiz, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Thank you for being here.
Greetings. I thought it was just, me and Stephen Don, the West Indies representatives on the show to help you out today, but I'm glad to acknowledge them. Congratulations.
I'm also from the West Indies, man.
Yeah, that's why he said he thought it was just going to be him and Stafford, but you're here as well.
Yeah.
So we got our West Indies representatives right here. Of course, Jamaica's the best, so we all know that. So big up to Jamaica. I didn't know I was going to come in here and hear some Bill Bean analytics, discuss kind of knowledge, some Carl Sigmund Freud psychological analysis by Nev, do the crowdsource analysis of them and how the psychology of the crowd and Randall going to be, dynamics going to be. But I like the thoughts, I like the concepts. So I got some agreements and disagreements. But my first point of contention is that the only scenario we look at my boy Randall and of course my real boy Obi. Actually, I don't really like Randall, sorry, but I mean he's got skills though. That combination of them on the floor is only in another small ball situation against like Miami or somebody. I just cannot ever see not having two of our bigs on the floor, and that means the rim protection, their versatilities. Obviously, I think I do think you have a point about Randall in the paint being a clog, but I don't know if Obi's fluidity on the floor is affected if Randall is clogging the paint, because I think he's gonna want to run across along the baseline, and Randall may be right there with guys blocking his path. He may want to crisscross. Randall or RJ could be there blocking it. So to a certain extent, I think Randall and him together poses an interesting threat and dynamic, but I don't know if it'll really work that well or as well as having iHeart, my number one choice, or Big Mitch Rob there in the center. Now, I do have an issue with people who do not maintain some flexibility. And so I don't want to come back to bashing, but Tim's bashing is my middle name. Tibbs does not think outside the box. He does not have enough creativity in his head. He's just so locked in. And every single thing shows again, he's still locked into his mentality of, I want this way, or I like it this way, and I can't see anything else. I do hope Rick Brunson and Johnny B with a little more experience can actually step in and go, yo, RJ's been out there. We're behind by 20 points. It's 2 minutes left. Get him out. Which has been the basic move that anybody should have done. That coach or that little system with the clipboard or with the iPad, he should have hit Tim over the head with it. And just say, hey, Randall, smack tips for me. RJ should not be playing with a minute left in the game when we're behind by 20. So kind of things that makes me concerned about Tim's flexibility to look at different dynamics. And so ultimately for me, it's going to come back to Tim's. If you can do any combination, we have so much flexibility, except at the small forward to a certain extent, because I think, again, the only true one we all agree is Cam. And I think this opportunity for Cam to be the small forward and have RJ start at 2 is something I think we have to investigate. And my ideal lineup, believe it or not, is RJ, Brunson, Cam, Obi, and iHeart. That's my ideal lineup. I know it's not going to happen right away, but it can be played throughout the game somehow. But that'll be my ideal lineup. I like Mitch Rob, but again, I love iHeart's passing and his outside shooting to stretch, the floor a little bit. So that's why I want to drop mine. Of course, that's how we do from, I'm in Cali, by the way, guys. So I'm really sad that there's no water at all in the sky. It's all been like that for 5,000 the last 4,999 days. Because that's how we roll.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
California, man.
so I wouldn't mind some of the rain. You guys send it over this way to help us cool down. My mom's in Punta Gorda, Florida, so that went right through the eye, went right through her place. Some shingles came off. Power was out 2 days. Today's her birthday, so I got to call her or try to reach her on the cell phone, which she rarely answers because, when you're like 80 years old, that cell phone just doesn't seem like it should work. It's not going to do nothing. There's no call or nothing. She's like, okay, so she'll answer once in a while, but she's doing okay. Everybody was safe. My stepfather, her husband, was holding on the back door for 4 hours during the hurricane. That's how powerful that wind was. He really got the door with a sofa against it, and the door was bulk pushing in. So I wish all the best to all the people on the coast. And, again, you guys send some of the water our way. Yeah. We can take it, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. If we could, I'd definitely ship it to you, brother.
All right. Good luck.
Wow. Well, I'm glad everybody's okay. That's good. That's most important. Let me get to a couple of these comments real quick. Wacko. Well, no, hold on. There's one more right before that. There is one that I missed from Parish Duggar. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, there it goes. He said every OB hater played as a traditional power forward. I see you, Parrish. Listen, man. And the other thing too, one last thing I wanted to say about Obi. Okay, Obi moving without the ball, fine. He can get to wherever he needs to get on the court. If Julius is clogging an area, he can get around. Obi with the ball, as well as other people on this Knicks team, that's an issue. Because remember, Obi can dribble, but it doesn't mean he has the best handle. We've seen Obi with the ball. He has kind of struggled a little bit to get from point A to point B. Now, I don't know what he's worked on in the offseason. Maybe his handle got a little tighter. Maybe it's going to be easier for him. But if he has the ball, he's going to have to be able to dribble and break his guy off of the dribble. That's another thing. And I'm not, I like Obi. You guys already know that. So I'm not saying something crazy when I say Obi hasn't necessarily shown that he can take his guy off the dribble consistently either. A lot of times when he's dunking, he's being set up, he's already catching an alley-oop, or it's one of those where he's cutting and he gets the ball. Maybe he has to put the ball down one dribble and get to the – but we haven't seen him break a guy off and get to the rim. And I'm not saying everybody could do that, but we haven't seen it.
Even though it's constructive criticism, they go still call you a hater.
Yeah, it's weird. I know Sherwin won't,
because I feel the same way too. His game is very limited, but at the same time, we're gonna be called haters and Obi this and Randle this. It's not even that, bro. If Obi was the real deal, we would have been seeing Randle got shipped out long time ago. He does not bring the attention that Randle does. He does not have the fortitude that Randle does. So he'll be continue to be a bench player until he's ready, like it or not. And that's how it is.
But I could Steffa, in this case, could it be one? He's a new NBA player, so he had to get up to speed on NBA speed. Two, the coach was system-wise, especially the system's going to take the player's game, has a factor where he's actually holding them back. And some people actually even said things like when Obi was hot, some people accused him of pulling him because he's hot and he's trying to cater to Randle's ego. That's been said. I'm not saying, it's a little bit conspiracy theory. It's a possibility. So maybe he's being held back to a certain extent by the coach. And he doesn't outplay Randle enough. He may be as good as Randle right now, but he doesn't show enough to move Randle out of spot. So he may be good enough to be a starting power forward, but not a Michael Jordan like where like, oh, that guy's better, get him in. So that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, and shout out to Visions. Listen, Visions, I agree with you. Typically, no, that's not supposed to be the case. But Obi is not a typical power forward. His body is a little bigger than a small forward, but he's really just a bigger. He's a bigger version of a small forward. He's not a power forward. He's not a center. So he should be able to work on trying to take his guy off the dribble. He's a slasher. He's an athletic phenom. Like he can dunk out the gym, and he's quick, as Nev kept pointing to. His speed. He's faster than most guys at his position on the court. Yeah, he is one of the faster guys on the team, if not the fastest. Nah, he's probably not
running up and down. But let's get him on the perimeter though. Right, get his ass on the perimeter, and you'll see how stiff he is.
I disagree, really, but I
don't know what you're watching, man. I don't know what you're watching, bro.
But I disagree because the sample size was just too small, and he was basically a stifling. He wasn't given the freedom to do whatever he wanted to do.
Listen, I don't mean to cut you, bro, but hear me out. You in the NBA, any minutes you get, you're supposed to go out there and play like if it's your last meal, your last supper. And Obi didn't go out there and act like that was his last supper.
No,
so you don't go out there and you put the maximum effort. You still want me to give you minutes?
No, it doesn't work
like that. It doesn't work like that, bro.
It doesn't work that way.
You have to earn your minutes, bro.
Let's take this example. Check RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett get unlimitless minutes. Unlimitless. It doesn't matter what he does.
You know why? Because he was the number 3 pick. He was the number 3 pick.
Okay, but now you just made an excuse. Or you just said if you get the minutes, you should go play. And I'm trying to tell you, the coach decides how much minutes you're going to play.
Listen,
that's his job.
When you see RJ go out there, RJ puts in all the effort, all the sweat. You see it on his sleeve. When Obi goes in there, he goes in there timid. He's very timid.
He's not the only one that does that. There are a lot of other players on the Knicks.
We're talking about the New York Knicks. We're talking about the New York Knicks. We're not talking about other players.
There are a lot of other players that put all out effort.
By the way, wait from there. Wait from.
This coach has preferences. He has these certain players he wants to play. He has the other players he doesn't want to play. And that's the
So you
issue.
telling me as a coach, if you don't have a trust in a particular player, you still gonna put him out there just for him, just for
Because
him.
good coaches do that. They actually play players and trust them. They actually try to build their confidence. That's what good coaches do. They try to build a player's confidence so he can play on a high level.
Right, Stepher. What do you think about is Cam in the game exert himself at maximum level? Or does he look like he's dragging, like he's low motor, as they say? Do you think Cam is doing that, or Cam just simply moves as if he's a low motor, or he just is maximum?
Listen. Nate McMillan said he was the next Paul George, right? And he was supposed to be the next. He was supposed to be the number 10 pick in the draft, right? So I mean, he hasn't showed himself. He hasn't proven himself. Granted, he has been injured, but I always say this: you let this guy from Virginia come and take your spot. You let this guy Kevin Horter come and take your spot, and then you want to come in and be like, okay, you supposed to just get a spot because your name is Cam and you was the number 10 pick. No, I do not trust you. You haven't showed me anything for me to put you on the court. Same thing come back to Obi. What have you done to show me that you really wanted to be on the court? It's only the last 10 games people want to go back to last season because Randle was injured to have this big narrative that Obi's supposed to play in front of Randle. No, it does not work like that. He is nowhere far better than Randle, anyhow, any day at this point in time and moment. Okay, he doesn't have a go-to game. He has a jump shot. All he has is to run and dunk and slash and all of that, which is fine. But there's more to the game. When you give the ball to Obi,
that does not draw. More complete, Stuffer. His game is more complete than that.
Can I make this point?
You didn't see him in college.
Hold on one second, Nev. Let Wiz, you finish what you were saying, and then Nev.
I'm done. Go ahead.
In college, Obi has the mid-range, has a three-pointer, but he has not been able to display it fully in the NBA. So I can't say he doesn't have it. He hasn't shown it yet, and that's possibly, yes, the lack of confidence, whatever it is that's going on mentally with him, and he hasn't shown his full game yet. Yes.
So whose fault is that, Wiz?
No, I'm not saying it's not his fault. I'm not saying he does have it. When you say he doesn't have the game, I want to just correct that narrative because he has it, but he hasn't demonstrated it in the pros. So I just want to let you know. Now,
so how you expect to get better if you go out there and you don't have no confidence, and then you still want the coach to play him?
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. What I'm talking about is I don't think the fans are saying replace Randle with Obi. What they're saying is give Obi some time to get his confidence along. I'm not replacing Randle with Obi right now. Randle is a superior player right now. Experience and covering skill set, I think. However, I think you have to look at an opportunity for a guy drafted number 8 to get a chance to demonstrate what you saw this player of the year, NCAA player of the year. I know it's a small school, but he played some top-level competition as well sometimes, and he demonstrated he has skill sets. So let's give him a chance by fighting to waste him in the game, especially when Randle is exhausted with 42 minutes of play. I don't mind 18 minutes for Obi. 16, 18 minutes is no problem, but I think Randle at 32 is ideal. At 32 minutes with a 3 or 4 minute break every quarter is ideal for Randle to maximize his skill sets and use him at his full potential and give Obi the 16 to 18 minutes that happens when Randle's game is off or when Randle simply needs that time to recover. And Obi, get some burn and have him develop his confidence as well by not pulling him because he missed one assignment. That's all I got to say. By the way, we could never where you from? And where you from, Stefan?
Dominica.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right then. Steph, you're training?
Yeah, you don't see the big Trinity flag on there, boy? What's wrong with you, boy?
Okay, so Jamaica beat Trinity all the time.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
Here we go.
Anyway, can I make this? I want to make this point.
Go ahead, Nev. And then I'll after you, I'll say something.
one of my pet peeves. It's one of the most critical thing I believe. Good coaches do not prejudge their plays. They just don't, because you never know who is going to turn out to be in 5 years, who is going to turn out to be your greatest players. So you must have an open mind, and you must let their talent speak for itself. Bad coaches prejudge their players. They peg their players in certain areas. They put their players. They already have a preconceived notion where how far this player can go, what this player can do, what that player can do. If you look at the good coaches, any coach that has won a title, they don't do that. They don't say this player is only can reach this certain limit, and that's what we have here. That's why I there like after Thibodeau won the Coach of the Year, I wrote to John Macquarie and I asked him, can this coach go back and learn the offensive side of the ball like he has done the defensive side of the ball? Because as I look at Thibodeau, even to this day, I see a defensive coordinator. I don't see a coach, because he doesn't have the skills on the offensive side, and he's not willing to learn the skills on the offensive side of the ball. Good coaches have those two compartments pretty close together, not that far apart. Bad coaches do. You can take D'Antonio, you can take Thibodeau, you can take any coach that's one-sided like that. You know, that's not a good coach. He hasn't done the homework to become a good coach, and he should have. But it's I don't know. Maybe it's just arrogance. But
Mm.
being that he's just a defensive coordinator in the NFL, that's Rex Ryan right there. You know, that is Rex Ryan, and he hasn't put in the work to learn the offensive side on the ball. And And I see what management is trying to do. Because if you look at our team, we're trying to bring a point guard that can take all the offensive play out of the coach's hand. Basically, that's what Jalen Brunson is supposed to do. He's supposed to be the coach on the floor, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
he's going to run all the plays, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want we don't want to tell this coach, hey, dude, you must go learn the offensive side of the ball. Right now, you're a great defensive coordinator. You know,
Well,
that's what you are.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Seem like I don't agree with you, because I do agree with you, Nev. But I do want to say something in fairness to Thibodeau on the offensive side. The Knicks are basically a pick and roll team, right? And in the pick and roll, they've been a solid team in that aspect. And the fact that they are, see, what's interesting about the Knicks is, even though they're limited offensively, they only run pick and roll, Spanish pick and rolls, different things of that nature. They run a couple other sets, but it's really that, right? They score a good amount of points for being that they're limited. So they do have ways to score. They have offense. Should the offense be better? Should it open up? Yes, 100%. I agree with you. I say it all the time. The Knicks need to bring in somebody, or they need to force Thibodeau to be willing to open up the offense more, to allow them to do different things. And they need to make it easier for these guys to score baskets, like, not just pick and rolls, pick and pops, back screens, all this stuff. They need to do all of that to make it easier. Randle and RJ shouldn't have to work so hard to get a basket off, to get into the paint. Sometimes you make it easier, make a jump cut screen, something like that, to gives them a nice little easy lane into the to the basket area, into the paint, or backdoor on the baseline. There's got to be easier ways to do that, and you got to do it consistently, because I've seen the Knicks do some of it. They don't do it consistently. So they got to figure out ways to do that, and Thibodeau has to be willing to do that. I agree with that as well. The other thing I wanted to say was in regards to Obi. I agree with you, Nev, and I also agree with Stafford. I'm not going to say Obi can't do certain things. He hasn't shown enough of it. And I think what's the biggest thing with Obi is that he's missing a level of aggression. It's interesting because he's very fast. You see him, he gets out there. He's aggressive when it comes to running up and down the court and leaking out on the fast break. He's very aggressive with that. And he does move faster than a lot of players on the team. But when it comes to actual basketball play in the half court situations, which the Knicks play half court ball, he's not as aggressive with his moves. He's not as aggressive to the hoop. I've said this before. I don't care what you do, no matter what it is. If you do it at a high level, then if you do it well, then do it at a high level. He's a dunker. We know he's a dunker. Can he also shoot the three? Yes. And I do feel if you give Randle and Obi 10 shots, I think Obi will hit just as many as Randle from 3-point range, or maybe more. I don't know. It depends. But I think Randle and Obi, Obi could probably shoot the rock. If you keep giving him the opportunities, he could probably shoot the rock just as good as Randle, if not better from three. Because Randle's not a great 3-point shooter. He's a better scorer. He's a more polished player. He definitely has more skill. But I think Obi could hold his own with that. And I think if you keep featuring him, his mid-range game will get better. And maybe he can work on some stuff down low. Maybe in time. But I do think that Obi lacks that aggressiveness. I have yet to see, and I've said this, and you guys may think, oh, Ron's joking. I don't know. Of course we see. How many times have you seen Obi top and dunk on somebody? He does great dunks. He even has chances to go between his legs and do stuff. When is he dunking on somebody? Aggressive players who dunk, and that's their thing, you see them try stuff, and you see them, they're not going to always make it work, but they dunk on people. He needs to show that aggression. That aggression level will have other defensive taking notice, like, oh, whoa, I got to watch him. I got to play him a certain way. I can get dunked on.
Ron, you say it. You see, you say it, you don't get no tomatoes. You don't be called a hater, right? But if I was to say it now, I'm a hater. I get tomatoes. People want to come on the show to give me the business. And Ron just said it to y'all, right? So
you're a big boy.
Because you're pretty.
You're a big boy.
That's why.
I'm just saying though, it's just funny how Ron just said it nice, cool, man, calm and collective, right? And you don't get no tomatoes, none of that. But let me say it, right? Oh my goodness, boy! You see how biased this thing is.
Well, I mean, listen. Hold on, Nev. I'll let you go. I'm just saying, but I see it from both sides because I agree. But I see it from Stafford's side and I see it from Nev's side. There's certain things Obi needs to work on and keep improving and showing, but he's got to show that aggressive level. And then from Nev's side, I do agree that Obi should be playing more. Obi should have it. Thank you, Julian Blum. Look, he gave me some tomatoes. There you go, Stafford. I think, and shout out to Julian. I was getting ready to say what's up to you, brother, in the chat. I didn't get to you yet. I got to get to these super chats too. I'm gonna let Nev speak, and then after that, I'm gonna get to these super chats. But that's my point. I think Obi can do it, but Obi needs to do it. He needs to focus. And the other thing about this is why we come down on some of these players is because they play a certain way and their way they are as people, how they lead. Obi is a great person. Obi looks like a fun guy. Like you want to go somewhere, have a good time, you go out with Obi. Obi looks fantastic. Like he's the person you want to be around. But on the basketball court, you want him to have that grit, that sense of urgency sometimes. You want him, he doesn't have to get mad, but I think he should. But you want him to be aggressive. You want him to just go get it. Show that, listen, I got this leaping ability, and if you don't block this shot or foul me, I'm dunking on you. And that sets up the next play. It sets up the next move. Oh, this guy just dunked on me. Well, I ain't going to let him catch me off. So I'm going to give him a little room because I see he ran past me. Now you could take a jump shot. You know what I mean? It's just basketball. It's one-on-one. But anyway, go ahead, Nev. Go ahead.
Well, the other thing is that I don't care for Obi being aggressive and dunking on anybody. What I do care is when he gets the ball on top of the key, that he doesn't just hand it off to the point guard. Last year, he did that quite a bit. whenever he got the ball, where he could have gone past his defender, he just handed the ball back to the point guard on so many plays. That lack of aggression that's what bothers me. I don't like that. I want to see Obi takes the ball, fake the handoff, and just go to the rim on many occasions. So the dunking part is really doesn't concern me because I don't like dunking because I hurt my hand at an early age. So I
Okay.
never liked dunking.
I
I'm
hear
a
you.
shooter. So I don't want to dunk. I don't want to hurt my hand. So I don't really care for that.
I got
But
you. I got
that
you.
that part right there, top of the key, on the sides, more top of the key. I think he does it on the sides, but on top of the key, stop just handing the ball to the point guard, take it, go to the rim, do something with it, be aggressive. That's why I want to see his aggression change this year. I want to see, and like I said, for me, I tend not to be very critical of players because I want to recognize number one, how long they've been in the league. This is the toughest league to play in, where they came from, if they're making a transition from a different position. So I am not critical of young players.
Mhm.
I'm not even critical at older players like Julius. I am not as critical as many fans. I am I am a Julius Randle fan. I just want to see accountability on his part. Hold yourself accountable. Don't don't depend on the coach. If the coach cannot do it, you do it
Mhm.
because you're a grown man, you're father, you know what accountability is. You know if your
Mhm.
kid is beating up on somebody or doing some crazy shit, you know that's not accountability.
Right.
You are
Right.
gonna have to tell him, hey, you can't be doing this.
Yeah.
So you know down deep what that is. That's organized. And I thought he got away. He took too much liberties last year, you know. And I want to see a different Julius Randolph. And if we can have a Julius Randolph and have a coach that willing to play multiple lineups, he can go over speed lineup, he can go over big lineup, he can go over quick lineup, he can go multiple lineups because he has the personnel. This year is no excuse for not saying, "Hey, let me try quickly." Bronson, um, Grimes, Cam, Obi, or Highside. Just do a lot of things. Don't stand pat. Try to take advantage of the other team. Last year we
Mhm.
just ignore what the other team was doing. We basically ignore. There were times where we could have taken advantage, go big, go this. We did just it that they would play a different concept. We don't. We're going to stay to play the same way. I don't
Mhm.
want to see that this year. I want to see we have too many. We can use too many variation of lineups, players combination. I want to see him willing to do these things. And that's why if I can see those things, I know we're gonna have a good season. If if we in a certain way we have to, hey, this is Julius, Obi must come after Julius, you know, this is Brunson quickly, or Rose must come after him. This is Fournier. It must be this guy. It can't be Grimes, it can't be Cam, it must be Grimes. Where is so set in his mind. I know that's going to be a problem
Mhm.
because it's absolutely no reason for that with this
Yeah.
kind of team you have.
Yeah. No, listen, you're right. Let me get to some of the stuff in the chat real quick. Definitely these super chats. But shout out to Bodega Wi-Fi. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Oh, and that message that I just had up. Come on, Sherwin. You know what I mean. Yeah, Sherwin. Obi may get mad at Tibbs at this point. Now he's a little bit more vocal to speak up and show his frustration. But I'm talking about on the court. These guys can be a certain way when it comes to the media, when it comes to fans, when it comes to stuff outside of the game. But on the court, they all buddy with the friends on the court, and they just don't, you know. Michael Jordan used to attack players like that. He used to get under their skin, say all types of stuff, and use you. He used to take you out, go buddy with you, take you out to dinner, do all types of stuff, get in your head mentally, then get you on the court and light you up. Like go right at your jugular. Like on the court, it's got to be a different thing. It's not I'm saying kill or be killed. It's I have to go out there and do what I got to do to make my team win. And I'm going to do it by any means necessary. And I'm going to attack, and you're going to have to stop me. That's why the whole point is not necessarily seeing Obi go out there and dunk on somebody. I don't need to see the oohs and ahs. My point is by Obi going out there and dunking on that person, now that person has to play back on defense. They can't push all the way up. It's just a natural instinct. You just won't do it because he's like, oh, this dude just dunked on me. I got to give him a couple steps. And those couple steps for a guy who knows what they're doing in basketball can get off a shot. It's the reverse with Steph Curry. Steph Curry's not a dunker. But what he does is he's very aggressive on the three-point range, so he puts you in a blender. You got to step out. You step out too much, get too aggressive, now he goes past you for an easy layup. That's how basketball is played when you do it at a high level. That's all I'm saying. So Sharice Duncan said, salute to you. Good sign. Grimes is out of his boot. Okay, good. So it's precautionary as we thought. That's good. That's good news. Not good for Cam, but good news for Grimes. So we'll see what happens with that. As I was going to say before, shout out to Julian Blum. Thank you for being here, brother, as always. My guy Tibbs is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Wesley Robinson is here. I don't know if I mentioned you earlier, but if I did, I'll mention you again. Thank you, Wesley. Appreciate you.
Every comment I see my name in it. Jesus Christ.
that just means that you are giving great content, Stafford.
Love you, Stafford.
There you go. Shout out to my guy Cully. Great show on Thursday, man. You and Subliminal and Uncle Freezy. Good job, Cully. As always, appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us in the chat. Salute, my brother. -2 Trill. What's good? Salute, brother. Appreciate you. Look, he didn't mention you, Stafford. There you go. All right. So to the super chats we go. Oh, and salute to Krillian's Underlow. Appreciate you, guy. Thank you for tuning in, man. Always good to see you. There you go. Appreciate you. Okay. So Wacko in Brooklyn said, when the team win, and thank you for the generous super chat. He said, when the team win, but Randle isn't, why we won. When we win, basically, he says he pouts. That's a terrible attitude. Get him out of here, Leon. Knicks for life. Yeah, listen, I don't think Randle's going to be that way this year. I think Randle, it's not just what people say about you. It's not just how your teammates feel about you or how the coaching staff in the front office feels about you, how you view yourself. Randle has all the tapes. Randle can go back and look at how he acted. Randle could see the Knicks are winning the game and he's walking off the court with like 40 seconds left or whatever the hell it is. Randle could see he's not shaking hands. Randle could see that he's trying to smack laptops out of coach's hand. Randle can see all of that and say, listen, I should have did better. So I'm assuming and I'm hoping that he does better. What I wanted to say, salute to Felicia Lee, is when she said Randle disrespected the fans prior to the insults to his family. I do not agree with attacking anyone's family. Facts. I agree with that 100%. Randle did not carry himself that well. He did certain things that upset the fans, and then the fans went at him. Some fans were ridiculous. There's another word for them. I'm not saying that. I got a YouTube show, but you know what I mean. They were jerks. So, and if I was Randle, which I'm not, I definitely would have said some slick stuff. I might have came out my face and said some stuff that they were like, damn. But I would have said it to those fans, to particular fans sitting right next to my wife and my kids saying a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not saying it to every fan. I'm not going up there and having a good game and doing the thumbs down to the whole fan base. I got to do it specifically to who is bothering me, who's affecting my family, and who's putting me in a certain light. So I think Randle did a poor job of that. The Knicks did a poor job of trying to sweep it under the rug and hiding him from press conferences. And this is how it backfired. The one thing the Knicks still haven't got right is their PR situation. Their PR situation is trash. It's in shambles. Okay. The media policy, the gag policy, all this stuff, there's a way to do it. You have to do it in a certain way that makes sense, that is respectful to the media as well as to your fan base and to the team itself, because you need people in your corner. You're trying to change perceptions. The Knicks have been looked at as a laughing stock for many years. You're trying to turn that all around. And if you're trying to turn that all around, you got to do it a certain way. And then the way they handled Randle, there was another message in the chat about, I don't know if it was, I think it was Jay Ellis, talking about how Randle's made mistakes and done things, and there's no accountability. Facts. Accountability needs to be had for everybody in the team. Randle shouldn't get a pass, and he don't deserve a pass. No player deserves a pass. And if we're being fair, some players do get it, but you got to be balling out. Like Steph Curry could basically do whatever he wants, and he'll get a pass because he's Steph Curry. He does what he does. Randle don't play like Steph Curry. Randle hasn't won anything. He doesn't deserve a pass like that. So I'm not saying anybody deserves it. I'm just saying some things in life happen that way. That's how it is. The best players get to get away with a lot of stuff. But Randle has not shown that, especially last year. There's no reason he shouldn't be held accountable for his actions. And the rest of the team needs to see that so they can follow suit. That's how you earn respect from your teammates. That's how you keep a locker room. That's how the front office shows that they've got stones. You know what I mean? All this stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. And before I get to, go ahead, Nev. What's up?
Right.
I got a lot to get to.
Yeah, I'll just make this quick point. There's one thing I would disagree with you. Steph Curry would never do what Randle did.
Not saying he would. Saying he would.
Steph Curry normally he wants to set the example. He's not even going to cross his coach. He's going to set the example so all the other players could follow him.
Right.
And that's what Randle has to do, learn to do. For him to set the example. Hey, this is my coach. I believe in him. And I'm going to set an example for everybody else. That's what we should be demanding from Randolph.
Right. And I agree with you. And you're right that Steph would never do that because Steph is not that type of person.
Yeah.
But if Steph did it, believe you me, he might get a quick little backlash. Some people saying some negative, and it'll get swept right under the rug because people love Steph Curry, and Steph Curry is a champion, and he means a lot for that organization. But he wouldn't do that. But that's just what happens. That you guys have seen it all the time. And no matter what sport it is, the best players get away with a lot of stuff because they're the best players and they show it. That's all I was trying to say with that. Agent Super Argo said, and I got some other super chats I need to get to. I'm sorry. I know it's taking a minute, guys, but I want to get everybody a chance to speak and say what they got to say. But Agent Super Argo said, bro, when D Rose called out Julius about his antics like season and stated we have to act like grown men and take it out on the court, that was fantastic. That is fantastic. D Rose, and we've been saying if anybody could be a leader, because one, D Rose is respected not just by the Knicks, by the whole NBA. There's guys on all types of teams that respect D Rose. So if he can take that in him, someone who's an introvert, to try to show leadership quality, the Knicks need it. And I think D Rose sees that the Knicks need it. He's like, this ain't even me, but I'm going to do it because we need it. No one else is doing it. And maybe Jalen will be that guy. But right now, D Rose is trying to be that guy. John, my co-captain, said, I love that D Rose is taking that next step in leadership and being vocal about holding teammates accountable this season. Everyone in the NBA respects him for the player that he is. See, exactly what I just said. It's very true. That's what it is. So a guy like that saying stuff, people respect and they can deal with it. They won't take it'll be constructive criticism. They won't take it as somebody trying to put them down. They'll listen, which is great. So let me get to the rest of these super chats. Wacko in Brooklyn, Brunson, RJ Cam, Hart, best. Oh no, I might have saw that earlier, but if I didn't, he said Brunson, RJ Cam, OB, Hart, best starting five for the Knicks. Brunson, RJ Cam. That's Wiz's. That's your starting five too. Yeah.
There we go.
Appreciate the generous super chat, Wacko. Thank you, brother. Paris Douglas said, struggle is different for not forcing things, Ron. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, that is true. It is true. And salute to you, Paris. Thank you for the generous super chat. This is for you, Staffer. He said, Staffer, calm down. Obi can be good and Randle stays. Okay. Appreciate the generous super chat, Paris.
Big up Paris, yo. Big up Paris, yo.
He said he has one more here. Thank you, Paris, once again for the generous super chat. He said, if 46 and 38 points is so easy, everyone would do it. And that is a fact. Even if it happened towards the end of the season, even if it happened towards teams that may have been resting some of their players, there are some players that on these teams' bench that do get minutes that are part of the rotation that Obi was going up against. And then there was other people that may not get a lot of minutes. The point is, it does show you that Obi is better than all of those guys. So Obi deserves a chance to show if he can break into a mainstay rotation, if he can be considered to be a starter. He doesn't have to start, guys. Obi does not have to start. None of these guys have to start to be effective and to be used adequately on this Knicks team. We just need to be able to see them get minutes. They need to earn those minutes. And if they earn the minutes, then Thibodeau needs to give them the minutes. They don't have to start. It's all about how you play on the court and if you're used in key situations, and it affects winning. We've talked about so many times on all these content creator shows, how many Knicks players affect winning? Do we have guys that we know, put them out there, we're going to have a chance to win every given night? We don't know that. Maybe this year with Jalen Brunson out there, maybe we start to see more of that. So I think there's a lot. It's a lot to digest, guys. There's a lot that we got to think about. There's a lot we can hope for with this team. We'll see if Obi and Randle can play together, if Tibbs tries it. But as I said, I just think in a way it's a little bit of a slap in the face. And this is me personally saying this. For me to try all these different scenarios and put guys at different positions that maybe they don't normally play, just to get them playing time, when I got a guy sitting on the bench in a young Jericho Sims, who also is an introvert, who also is a quiet guy, who needs a confidence booster, who has been working hard, who showed in the summer league he was improving. We saw Jericho Sims do stuff in the summer league that we still haven't seen Mitch do. I don't want to try different ways to have somebody play his position so I can get them minutes rather than giving him a shot to play. You know what I mean? I want to be able to give that guy a shot too. It's going to be tough. The Knicks got a lot of players. They can't play them all. So,
True fact.
I don't know.
Yo, you got a new subscriber there, Victor Rivera.
No, Victor. Yeah, he's been here. Thank you, Victor.
Oh, from Tennessee.
Victor Rivera. Yeah.
Victor, I think it's time to become a Memphis fan. You can jump the bandwagon right now. No, I'm joking. Still a big fan, but it'd be very tempted right now if I was in Memphis not to go like, this team looks good.
Yeah.
Years. That's for 2 years, and then come back to the Knicks when we're ready to win the chip. But by the way, I just wanted to real quick. You mentioned the aggressiveness of Obi. You know, who's one of the nicest guys in the entire league back in the day?
Who's that?
I met him many times. I checked called Anthony Mason. Nicest guy you ever met. Oh my, he was soft spoken, he was nice. This guy, but on the court, oh man, not just because he had the body, but he was taking control of his space. And I think there's a point to the idea of whether it's a dunk or just simply a hard foul. I don't know if you guys saw Kobe. Google Kobe on YouTube, like Kobe and Paul Gasol Olympics. He told his guys, I'm going to run through that screen. And Kobe lowered his shoulder and Paul's on his back. It should have been an ejection. But he goes, but even other guys were like, LeBron was like, but he's your teammate. He plays for the Lakers with you. He goes, not right now. He's not my teammate. He's on the other team. And that's how I was. But Paul was shocked. You can see the shock at his body. You can see his face was like, was that a freight train? And Kobe's smaller than Paul by 40, 50 pounds. But he was like, I'm going to take him out. Just make sure when he says I'm going from the first game, first play. And he did it. It was like within 10 seconds of the play, Kobe went right through, shoulders to boom, and he ran right through Powell. And I was like, okay, you know what? If Obi can kind of have just one hard foul or one serious dunk, he will send a message. I think you're right in that regard. Get to that mentality, not necessarily Kobe level, because Kobe was vicious and Michael was vicious. But get to that level above where he is right now on the floor, that guys will think twice about either playing up on them too tight or playing, or trying to push him onto the backcourt or something.
Yeah.
A little edge.
That's what it is, Wiz. It's not something you want to continue because, listen, be honest, man, dunking is and being aggressive like that, going up against somebody, there's a chance, one, you could hurt yourself on the rim trying to dunk hard like that when you're trying to dunk on somebody. Two, there's a chance you could get hurt. You could go up and somebody could put you right back down on your tailbone or something. You can get hurt. It's not something you want to continuously do. You don't got to be that guy. You just want to do it here and there just to keep the defense honest, to say, listen, this is what could happen. Don't sleep. If you do, this is what could happen. because I was watching the preseason game with at least some of it. I saw some of the highlights with the Washington Wizards and the Golden State Warriors, and Wizards look pretty good, man. Watch out for them Wizards. If they healthy, they're gonna be a little bit of an issue. But there was a play where they threw a
Taj guy.
Right, right. There was an issue. There was a situation where they threw an alley-oop to Porzingis, and he caught it with his left hand and he dunked it. But then he went up down the court and he was looking at his fingers because obviously he hit his hands on the rim. So I'm saying there's some danger to it, but
Exactly.
so yeah, I hear you. Shout out to a couple more people who have joined. Appreciate you guys, man. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Hit that like button and support the show. Appreciate you guys. IQJ is in the building. Judah, my rightness is here. As we said, Victor Rivera is in the building. Al is here. What's good, Al? And there was somebody else I just saw that I wanted to shout out. Daniel Morero is here. Appreciate you, Dan. And my guy, D's World of Hoops in the building. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Pretty you stuffer. You won't come on. They won't come on because they're scared of you, stuffer.
Oh,
did I also say Delano Steele Jr.? DSJ is in the building. What's good?
The R&B king. I'm still waiting on my single, bro.
I'm jealous of DSJ, man. I love R&B music, and he got the cheat code, bro. I just want to give a shout out once again. Last night we was on Vibes and stuff talking about R&B, New Edition, and some other groups. But the reason why I say that is that DSJ got the cheat code. Is like I'm talking about, I know a little bit of something about my R&B, right? I'm saying stuff, and I'm talking about guys, but DSJ can say, "Oh yeah," and then there was that group, and then he said, "Ooh," and then he does. DSJ can sing. I can't do that. He can say, "Oh, remember that song he did?" And he could bust it out. Damn you, DSJ.
Damn,
Anyway, yeah, man, that's a talent, man. Appreciate you, man. Definitely. So guys, I think I got a little more time in me before I wrap up because this is 3 hours and 15, and I've done 5-hour shows before, but I don't think today is one of them days. But yeah, man, and what I'm doing is, but listen, if somebody if right now, RJ Barrett's to jump in, I'll do this for another 10 hours. RJ, we rocking. Come on down. Because we're not going to have a Still Knick Fans Weekly this Monday because Jose, myself, and John are going to get together at a private location. It will not be disclosed, and we will be talking about season 3 of Still Knick Fans. We got ideas, we got things we're going to implement, so we got to sit down. The meeting of the minds is going to happen. La Tres Muscaderitos is in the building. Anyway,
yes.
All right. So yeah, guys, thank you once again for being here, and I appreciate you guys as always. But before I get out of here, let's talk about. Because now we can actually talk about it. And this is the last time I can talk about it until it happens. Tuesday, guys. First preseason game against the Detroit Pistons. It's here. Are you excited? Are you looking forward to something? Is there something you want to see on Tuesday? Now, mind you, it's the first game, so it's probably going to be nasty. It might be sloppy. Last year, we were spoiled because the Knicks came in, hopefully trying to show us a new style of play, and they got busy that first game of the season. They were running up and down the court. They were shooting threes from everywhere. They were knocking things down. I think that was probably the best percentage they shot all season from 3. They were lighting it up. I don't expect to see that, but I do think it should be interesting. Anything you're looking for, Nev?
I'm looking for just Cam to get a start. I think that might be a perfect opportunity to give him a start because Fournier played internationally. They're going to rest him, and Grimes is in a boat, so he shouldn't be playing. So yeah, I would like to see Cam and see what he does with his first opportunity, and that's basically all I'm looking for. Besides that, I'm looking to see who's going to show up. That's about it.
Well, in fairness, excuse me. Apparently, Cam is out of the boot. He should, according to Sharice Duncan, what she saw. Grimes. I mean Grimes. I apologize, but he still should not play. Cam should still be playing.
It's preseason. I know there's no way I expect Grimes to play in a preseason game just coming out of a boot. It's too risky. It doesn't worth it, you know. Yeah, but hey, this coach, you never know.
Who your coach is exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's similar to that injury to that quarterback tour. Because when I saw that hit Sunday, I said, "Why this guy's in the game?" And then he's playing Thursday. I'm like, "Why this guy?" You don't need to risk. Sometimes you don't need to risk these things. With Grimes, that's how I feel. If Grimes is playing, period, we're doing a disservice to Grimes because it's too early in the season. It's preseason. It means absolutely nothing. He needs to rest. He needs to get fully healthy. You know, if he's in the game for whatever, it could be 1-2 minutes. That's a disservice to Grimes. That's how I look at it.
Right. Agreed. I 100% agree with that. Staffer, what you think? Is there anything you looking forward to this first preseason game? See these Knicks back out there in full effect?
Yeah, that's interesting. I want to go first before Staffer because I don't want people to mix up all the tomatoes coming after Staffer and then they mix it up with my comments. They go on for like 5 minutes and I'm giving my comment and I'm still seeing tomatoes. I'll be like, is that from me or from Staffer?
Go ahead, Wiz. Go ahead.
Yeah, Wiz. No, it's okay. You can go.
Stuff with the stars. Stuff with the stars. I want to say
no, go ahead, brother. What are you looking forward to this Tuesday, Wiz?
It's some nervous energy right now, man. I'm excited. I'm nervous excitement, but I'm really looking forward to seeing if Tibbs can do a rotations properly. That's all I want to see. I don't even know who he plays. I don't even care who he plays. If he plays Fraud Hunt, if he plays Keels, if he bring Moreno back from Dominican Republic, whatever, just rotations, timely rotations, accurate switches, and nice formations. I just want to see something that shows that he has grown on his rotations and his offensive schemes. Everything else is gravy. But I love to see Cam in the game again because like you, Mav. I want to see Cam playing. I want to see him get some time. I really want to see his rotations and his timeliness of it, where he plays guys no matter who it is, even if Randle and RJ are sitting at the end of the game. And just because it's preseason, and the team he left him wins because they're harder and they're better fit against the team that's in there. That's all I want to see.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, we're good now. We're good. And shout out to Keyshawn in the building. Appreciate you, Keyshawn. Salute, brother. Good to see you. Staffer, what are you looking forward to, brother? Anything you looking forward to this Tuesday?
Just two things. One Wiz touched on was rotations. Definitely want to see that. And the other one, I want to see if the pace. I want to see the pace. So they say they're going to go fast. Enough time they say they want to play fast. So I want to see this fast-paced offense that they're talking about. So those just those two things for right now. And then after I could go ahead and do my analysis after that.
I hear you.
Nice take. On that one. Nice.
I like it. I think that's a smart way to look at it. I'm with you on that. Shout out to Judah My Rightness. He said, I love to see JB, RJ, Cam, Obi, and Mitch to see how they gel with Randle and Evan not in the game. Yeah, at some point you may see that lineup out there. Throughout the course of the game, so that'd be interesting to see. So I'm with you on that, Judah. Like that would be interesting to see because I do want to see how guys play off of each other. Delano Steele Jr., I want us to win convincingly. Well, it would be nice, and it would definitely show a message to the league, even though it's a preseason game, would show a message to Detroit. I think it's something that you would want to do because you got to face Detroit in the second game of the season. So give them a little taste of, hey, Knicks kind of smacked us around, even though it was preseason. Something they can think about going into the game. Maybe they get a little tense or, have to press a little bit when they play them in the regular season. Whatever you could use to your advantage. That's right, Ashley Inc. This is the official Caribbean panel. Don't let them fool ya. Oh no. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I think what I'm looking for on Tuesday, and this is the first of, one, I want to see if it's typical, Tibbs tradition. If whatever lineup he puts out there on Tuesday is going to be the same lineup that we see on opening night, because he loves to do that, right? Because he plays preseason games like it's the regular season. So we'll see what he does. 2, I want the Knicks to go back to having fun, man.
Yes.
I want the Knicks to play together and show that chemistry. People are undervaluing, and it could be the Knicks organization and Tibbs himself, undervaluing how the chemistry and the fun that team was having 2 years ago affected their play. It's a shame, man, that they didn't think Theo Pinson was a big part of this team. Theo Pinson was a huge part. I don't care what anybody says. I know a lot of Knicks fans agree with me. His camaraderie and the way he bigged up those guys, like he really gave those guys a lot of energy and made them feel good about it. They couldn't get down because Theo kept the atmosphere light, and it was a fun atmosphere, and they played off of it. We didn't see Julius getting crazy and mad about stuff, and if he did, it only lasted small amounts of times. He was really just, yelling at refs. After the game, he's coming to the press conference, putting his arm around RJ, somebody else that Theo Pinson is putting his arm around Randle. Like, it was a fun group of guys. They had a good time. We need to get back to that, man. We need to get back to that. Theo's not here, so they got to do it themselves, but they got to go out there and play for each other. All we heard so far in training camp and content day, Evan Fournier is my guy. That's my guy. I want to see it on the court. I want to see like you guys are having fun playing with it, as a team together. And they should, because this is like, for the most part, a lot of them have been playing, on the same team for like 2-3 years now. So they should look better out there. They should look comfortable. Yeah. So we'll see, man. I hope that's what it looks like, because that's how this Knicks team is going to surprise or shock the world. Like RJ said, they're going to have to show that, look, we got it together, because Detroit is basically a young team, and they got new pieces. Some of our old Knicks pieces. They shouldn't gel as quickly as the Knicks. The Knicks should already go out there and look like they've been playing together for years. We'll see. Bodega Wi-Fi said he didn't say Mufasa, he said Mufasta. Yo, you a clown, Bodega. Yo, that's funny. Stupid, yo. Oh man,
your chat is crazy. I like
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you for giving me some lightheadedness right there. Y'all crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Man.
Sherman is mean.
Yeah,
the world at 40 to the
Yo, Sherman, man. Listen, I appreciate you, Sherman, because you know what? You feel how you feel, and you don't deviate from that. I'm hoping that you get surprised too this year. I'm hoping that the Knicks surprise you as well. Shocking the world. That's what RJ meant. We're going to let Sherwin know, man. We're going to shock Sherwin. That's what he meant. We'll see. DSJ says, as a matter of fact, let's see if Evan Fournier can play as well in the regular season as he does in the summer. FIBA Fournier show up. You know what? If you listen to the Knicks, I think they respect Fournier. See, I'm not just saying that because I think that Fournier is very vocal. I've said this before. I'm just going to say it one more time. I don't want to belabor the point. I think Fournier is very vocal in the clubhouse, in the locker room. I think he says a lot to these guys. I think he talks the right way, talks the good game. Like I said, he may not have the ability that some of these other guys have, but I think he knows what needs to be said, knows what needs to be done. I think he's a really good team player. And I think they watched him take that FIBA team to the, they got the silver medal, okay, but he was the leader. I mean, there's other players on that team that have talent, but Fournier was the leader. That says something, and I think a lot of guys look at that like, yo, I think they look at it and they're like, yo, Fournier, look, he's a part of this team, and we got to rock with him. We know what he can't do well. Let's pick him up. If Fournier looks like he's got a bad matchup, say Fournier is going up against Anthony Edwards. Oof. Everybody on the team pick up Fournier, yo. RJ, help him out. If Grimes is in there with him, Grimes help him out. Everybody help him out. That's it. And then let Fournier cook on the offensive end. Let Anthony Edwards get some of these threes off the corner, through his legs, behind his back, however Fournier shoots him,
But Ron, there's a little small rivalry between both of those guys, right?
I think
RJ
and
Anthony Edwards.
Yes.
So
yes, I know.
they might be matching up together.
Right.
Coach gonna put him on Fournier. That's gonna be very interesting.
Right.
It's gonna be a nice matchup right there.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say maybe we'll have a healthy Grimes when we play a team like Minnesota or something. Somebody else, like when RJ's not on him, they could put Grimes on him, or Cam will be healthy to play. They could put Cam on him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But go ahead, Wiz. What were you gonna say?
I said the school of thought also is let the star get off, shut everybody else down. That's okay too. Go ahead, let Anthony put up 40 points, but everybody will shut him down, and we just be the team. We don't try to pick for one guy because too much focus on like Anthony or like when Embiid is playing or Giannis. There's a time where you just gonna be like, Giannis gonna get his, let him go, but nobody else scores. So we could play like that as well. We don't have to like lock down Anthony, or of course he got backup as well. But Giannis or Anthony or Embiid, let them get those points and be like, okay, you guys get off today, but we're gonna let you put up 40. But your team's gonna put up 50 total. We're gonna put up 100. 120.
So one what's his name? Embiid to go off for 40 points in the paint. That ain't gonna look right on Knicks.
I don't know
what you're talking about.
But there's no school of thought where you do let this like Shaq used to always get off. Shaq got off all the time with his team, without Kobe, but the team lost. So there's a chance where you can't stop him. So why try to stop the unstoppable?
You can't stop him, but you can't try to contain him.
Right, but the energy put in to try to stop him could probably be better diverted to stopping the other guys and winning the overall match.
Mm-hmm. So yes, sometimes it don't always work like that, Wiz.
I know. I just say
I hear what you're saying.
We gotta give it a shot sometimes. Again, I want to think outside the box, try different things. If we get beat, we try to stop him when we get beat. Next time, let him score and get the other guys, and then we keep on trying variations. I just want to have that kind of flexibility from the coach. Like I said,
you know what?
Fun, speed, and that flexibility of a coach with his rotations.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that, Wiz, because guess what? The Knicks are not expected to win anything right now. They are not championship contenders. So if there's ever a chance or a time to experiment with certain things on defense or on offense, now is the time. Because when you put your team together and you got a team that's supposed to compete and ready to compete for a title, then you can't experiment. You got to play basketball the right way and get things done and just win games. Just rack up the wins, get yourself in the playoffs, and then go from there. But this team, no expectations. Matter of fact, a lot of the league is not looking at them as serious threats. A lot of the fan base is not looking at them as serious threats. So you can experiment. You can go out there and try all types of different things and figure out what sticks. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, Ron, I don't think Thibodeau coming to experiment and all that.
You're right. That is true. He's not an experimental type of coach. But I don't know, bro.
I can tell you that.
DSJ is cold. It's a DSJ. You call FIBA Frank and FIBA Fournier.
Yeah, but that's I hear you, DSJ. That's if Fournier don't step up and don't play good this year, then he's gonna be looked at in a very negative way. But I think Fournier will be fine. I think Fournier is gonna play the same way. And I said this before, guys. I don't know too much about him before he came to the Knicks. Like, I watched him, but I looked at when he first got to Orlando, because he started with Denver. I looked at when he first got to Orlando. Then I looked at when he first got to the Celtics. And then I looked when he first came to the Knicks. All three stops, he struggled in the beginning. It took him a while to get acclimated and get comfortable. He had a poor first half of the season with the Knicks, and he had a great second half. So there's no reason for me to believe that out the gate, Fournier shouldn't be playing good basketball. He should be playing like FIBA, like the same way he's playing in FIBA. He should just come in playing ball. So I think
Lighten
Fournier's
it
going to
up.
be fine. Yeah, I think he should be fine. We'll see. But there was one other thing that I wanted to get to definitely before I got out of here. Nick Yak said, name the game quickly won down the stretch. He played the most fourth quarter minutes. We sucked in. Back up with the facts. Okay. I can't go to point to the facts right away. I would have to look back and see some things. But I will tell you one thing that I did notice. There's when you go deep into the analytics, into the stats, there's a stat about plus or minus. And I'm not talking about the regular plus or minus you see every night on the box score, because that could be misleading. I'm talking about the individual player plus or minus. You know that the player with the highest plus or minus on the court as far as affecting the team and his teammates is Emmanuel Quickley. That means out of every player on the court, when Quickley's on the court, the guys around him they're more pluses than minuses when he's out there with them. So he basically affects the most positive aspects from this Knicks team last year. When he was on the court, most of the guys did well. I'm not saying we won the basketball games. We still could have won. I mean, the Knicks could play well and still lose, no? It could happen. The other team played better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is Quickley, out of all the Knicks players, when you look at this weird stat, when he was on the court, the guys played better under him than anybody else on the team. So I don't know. You take that for what it is. I hear you, though. Has he shown to be a closer? No. But nobody on this Knicks team has. RJ hit a couple shots down the stretch in different moments. He's also he's faltered too. Randle hit a game-winning shot in preseason. He didn't hit the game-winning shot in the regular season. You know, we just don't have a closer yet. Maybe there's a closer on this team. Maybe the addition of Brunson is going to allow that person to open up and be that guy. Or maybe it becomes Brunson. We'll see.
Let's see.
Actually, one more thing I'm looking for also, foul shooting improvement. That can transform our entire season. Foul shooting. If they can hit those free throws, man, RJ, man, I think that's almost 5-6 points a game we throw away every game minimum, and that also decides so many games we lost. So I'd love to see that improvement in the foul shooting, and then I'll really be optimistic. Otherwise, I'm going to call up Julius in Tennessee and move on to Memphis and be ready to get my jaw jersey on.
Right. And once again, shout out to Nick Yak. You are 100% right. But that's why I explained it in a different way, because that's what a lot of fans don't look at unless you go look deeper into the analytics. I said player plus or minus. The player plus or minus is different than the team plus or minus that you see at the box score after games. They show you the individual player, what they got, but they're showing you on as far as the team plus or minus, how you got your plus or minus as far as what the team did. It's different. I know it sounds crazy. When you say all this, it sounds convoluted and it's a little confusing. But there's actually an individual plus or minus stat that is looked at, that only looks at what you did on the court. Not like, oh, if RJ scored 20 points and you were on the court at the time, your plus or minus is high. No, it only looks at what you did. That's what I'm talking about. Not that other thing that they show on the box scores on the NBA.com and stuff. Not that. Because you're right. You know, you could go out there and be 0 for 6, and if the Knicks are blowing out the team by 20, your plus or minus is going to be good. I'm not talking about that one. That's not the one I'm talking about. But I hear you. Appreciate you, brother. Listen, this is good. These conversations with the going back and forth are spirited, they're informative, and they bring us to a better point. It helps us with our understanding. We get good perspectives, and that's what creates the dialogue for a good conversation. That's what makes this show run well. That's why I appreciate all y'all in the chat giving your opinions. I want to thank everybody on the panels joining me today. Nev, my guy Wisdom, Staff Dad in the building. More fire, rhythm beats. Don't let them fool ya. Yes, I appreciate you guys. And I appreciate my guy Jay Ellis jumping on real quick. Nick of Time show was in the building, folks.
Shout out to the kid.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
I appreciate
Soul
the
finger.
stuffer. Nice tomato stuffer on the Trinity flag. Appreciate that.
You
Yep,
already know.
Oh, shout out to E Gibson. I see you, bro. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Paris Duggar. Thank you to all of the generous super chats. Thank you to Wacko in Brooklyn. Appreciate you, man. Salute to all y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me once again. Let me get around anybody's final words. Nev, any final words, brother?
Yeah, I have a concern about how we perform against the zone defense, but I must see that in the regular season. I don't expect any team to play zone defense in preseason, but that's one of my concerns with just going in the regular season. I don't know. I don't expect us to play very well against the zone. Matter of fact, I expect us to look very good in a lot of games, and then when the team plays a zone defense against us, look very bad. So I hope that's not the case, but that's my biggest concern right now, and you know.
Okay, I hear you. Oh, I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. That's why I started up. One more super chat from Mr. Paris Duggar. He said, if Grimes, Quickly, and Obi get 18 minutes each, we win 47 games. Wow. Interesting. Okay, Parrish. All right. Listen, I'm looking at this one. I'm gonna see if I keep that one in my memory banks. And my memory's trash, so we'll see. We'll see. All right. Thank you for the generous super chat once again. I hope that's the case. I hope they do get those type of minutes. I don't know where they'll get them from, but hey, we'll see. Wisdom. Any final words, brother?
Thanks. Let me go before Steph because I don't like the tomatoes again. I'm joking, Steph, but I don't expect everyone to take a huge leap. I just want to see improvement across the board. But the three guys I want to see a big step in. I want to see Obi make a big leap. IQ make a big leap, and number one, Cam make a big leap. If those three make their leaps like they should, compared to what they've been, whether the narrative or facts about their past performances have been, those three will transform the next team. The other guys, a small step up for RJ and Randle and stuff, Mitch, etc., is something that we hope and we expect, and that should make our team better. But those three can transform the team into a top 6, top 4 potential team in the Eastern Conference. That is my take, and I say with that kind of improvement, and the sky's the limit.
Okay, I like that.
I would agree.
Yeah. What do you think, Staffer? What's your final words, my brother?
I mean, just peace and love to everybody out there. Have a good weekend and bless up.
There you go. That works for me. I like that. And like I said, I want to thank you guys all for being here and rocking with me. Thank you to my fantastic panel of gentlemen who came on to help me out when I was going through. I was just tough time. I was about to go stop the show, make some tea, some chicken soup. Like, what's happening here? No, but I'm okay. I'm good. It's just another good show, another great Saturday. Thank you guys for being here. I definitely yeah, I see you, Cully. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm good. I don't pay attention to all that stuff, man. It took me a minute because it was one point where every night I was like, and the plus and minus says. And then one day I said, what the hell is this plus or minus, man? I had to look a little deeper. Like, this is trash. I was like, I'm not looking at this team plus or minus no more. The individual player plus or minus, it's just different stat, guys. So definitely, if y'all haven't really checked that out, when the season starts, the preseason Tuesday, look at the plus or minus of the game, right? On your favorite site, NBA.com or ESPN, whatever it is, right? Look at what those numbers are. And then go to another site like Cleaning the Glass or one of these other sites, and or even Basketball Reference, and click on the player plus or minus, and you'll see a difference. I'm like, this is nuts. It's crazy stuff, but appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Oh, Angel Torres in the building. Salute. Listen, I'm just about to get out of here, brother. But look, you can watch the replay. This is a really good show. We talked about a lot of stuff. Great panel. and was fantastic. I can't thank everybody enough, man. So thank you, Angel, as always, for tuning in. Definitely watch the replay, brother. And let me put this up one more time before I get out of here, just so people know. This is for the people who. I'm just gonna put this up. I'm not talking about it because I will talk about it on another show. This is the usual suspects, guys. Okay. Usual suspects. You know, I give it up for all of these shows. I'm not talking about them right now. We are going to talk about them because I'm going to give them their own time. These are the mainstays. These are the ones who kind of been around. All right. Get them out of here for now. Boom. These are the newcomers. Now, not all of them are newcomers. Shout out to Jedi Sports Network, BX Sports Network with my man Kev. He's been around. I just wasn't able to get to him last time around. And Knicks Fans Brazil with Victor. He has been around as well. OUA Knicks podcast has been around. Tone Wu and the Garden of Knicks podcast has been around. Morning Drive with Danny Bree. He has been around. And even you want to say Knicks in 30 with my guy Trippy. He's been around. It's just that I want to show them love too because I couldn't do it last time. But let's shout out the newcomers. Diehard Giants. Riding with the Knicks. D's World of Hoops. Delusional Knicks fan, Yankees Morning Brew, Tsunami Speaks, and even though she's not a newcomer, her show is new, Dope Soul Sports Talk with Steph, aka the Queen from NBK and the Queen's Court. So shout out to all these great shows. Show them some love, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff on their channels, man. Thank you guys for being here with me. It's been another great show. I can't tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all. I love doing this. It gives me something to be excited about outside of my family and my normal 9-to-5 job. So thank you guys so much. Once again, as I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still, Knicks fans, we'll be back again. Like I said, no Monday show, no SKF weekly because the guys are getting together. We're going to talk about our new season, what we're doing. But look for the NBA report on the MBK network this Thursday at 8 p.m. Nothing but Knicks. We'll be there rocking. All right, guys. Take care. Have a great one. Have a great rest of your Saturday. I know it's rainy in the East Coast. Make the best of it. Make some hot cocoa. It's cool, too. It's like 56 degrees. Do something with yourself. Watch a movie. Cuddle up. All right, y'all. Take care.
All right, man. Yep.